I've done a rundown of the show. I've done all of this stuff. I'm halfway down my coffee. I'm chilled. I'm relaxed. I was chatting with you guys as I was going down the preview, right? As I was going down the preview, I was like, oh, right, well, we've got Sexyy Red this week. We've got this match happening. We've got this match happening. I was chatting away. We got to the bit in the preview where it said Roxanne's going to find her next opponent for Battlegrounds. And I was like, guys, who do you think that's going to be? Who do you think her next opponent's going to be? Who do you think's coming from there? And I was like, we just went down the rosters. We were looking. And in the end, we agreed, didn't we? We agreed on the names in the poll. So that's why we put the poll up, right? Poll's been up 5 minutes. But we agreed on those names. And then I'm sat here, and I'm looking in the chat, and I'm seeing people going, Daze is never late. Where's Daze? And I'm like, well, I'm here, aren't I? I can definitely see myself. I mean, I've not disappeared. And people going, Howdy's probably got him and stuff like this. And I'm like, and I've looked, and the flipping button that says go live is still saying go live. It's not saying live, right? So I'm sat here for flipping 10 minutes talking to myself, just chatting away. I was having a conversation with Check NHL. Said, oh, I'm watching the Nightbird video at the moment. And I was like, oh, I appreciate that, buds. I appreciate that. There's not many YouTubers that would put a video up and then do a live stream at the same time. But we had that conversation. And it turns out we didn't, because I wasn't even live. Oh, my God. The only saving grace is that I was still in the process of like doing a few bits and bobs. So I was in the process of like, you know, sending a tweet out, whatever. So, you know, I was kind of I'm free now. You've got my full attention now. So the only good thing is, I think this is a better intro, right, than the one we did like 10, 15 minutes ago. But I have been here all along. I said that we would be delayed till 1:15. I was here at 1:15. And then I proceeded to spend 15 minutes talking to myself. I'm blaming Nightbirds. I'm blaming Howdy. I'm blaming the flipping QR codes. Do you know what I mean? It's having an effect now. It's having a real world effect on me. Now I'm just sitting here talking. I mean, like now I'm talking to myself. I'm just sitting here talking to myself. This isn't normal. This isn't good. This isn't healthy. This isn't the life that I pictured for myself when I was going through high school, right? We even agreed on the names. I even said, shall we have Tegan Knox and Indy Hartwell? And I said, shall we have Xia Li? And I was like, nah, she's not around anymore, is she? They got rid of her. Let's have a look at the rosters. So we went down the Raw roster. Didn't you remember? We went down the Raw roster. We were having a look. You know, who could be facing Roxanne? And we agreed that it should be Tegan Knox, Zelina Vega, and Alba Fire. Because they, you know, it's all right. You got to go with 3 main roster names. You might as well go with them. They're not really doing anything at the moment, these 3. So, you know, you can't have Piper Niven. She's building to a feud with Bayley. Yeah? You can't have Blair Davenport. She's only just been called up. You can't have Lyra Valkyria. So we agreed on this. And then it turns out we weren't flipping live, and it's an absolute disgrace, and I've never been this angry. And you wait till the letter I'm writing. I don't know who I'm sending it to, but it is going to be fierce. Yeah, I'm going to bring out my inner Sasha Fierce. This is a little Beyonce reference for you Beyonce fans. Right, well, I suppose what I need to do is go back to WWE. I mean, all the little jokes that we had as well. We was having a laugh. We was having a good time. And it's all just lost. Ski. I did that last time. I did. I mean, we've already done this. Ski. It's Sexyy Red tonight. Hey? And I'm not talking about the pants I'm wearing. I'm talking about this young lady right here. She is going to be on NXT. So she's going to be on NXT tonight. And I don't know what she's doing. It's not even a special show, right? Let's go down this preview again. And we'll preview it and then we'll jump into the chat, right? So, NXT champion Trick Williams is teaming up with Javon Evans to take on Gallus. Rapper Sexyy Red comes to NXT. Roxanne Perez's Battleground opponent will be revealed. You might remember last week, Ava was on the phone to Adam Pearce and she was on the phone to Nick Aldis. And they were like in agreement, so it's got to involve someone from the main roster. I'm wondering if you've got Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, triple threat? Someone from Raw? Someone from SmackDown? Be a bit strange, wouldn't it, I suppose, unless she was calling them both to find the right opponent. She was checking with SmackDown, she was checking with Raw. Putting her in a triple threat would be moody, man. I don't know why you would want to do that. Put the champion at such a disadvantage. I'm thinking she probably called them to figure out who the best main roster opponent would be. But I'm expecting this person to be from the main roster. Hence why we agreed, didn't we? Tegan Nox, Zelina Vega, Alba Fire. Kalani Jordan takes on Ren Sinclair. Should be a really good match, that. Michin is going to take on Tatum Paxley. Should be a really good match. And we've also got Ridge Holland and Riley Osborne. So that should be decent. Looking forward to that. It's had a bit of a build. So, yeah, NXT actually looks pretty good tonight. Looks pretty good. And I think Sexyy Red being on just provides a bit of... I know many people, even myself, don't really know who she is. I know one of her songs. But it's just something a bit different, really. It's just something a bit different. Maybe all wrestling shows should have, like, musical guests. And we should have, like, a musical performance at some point. And we could just bring in different bands and different artists. And, you know, that would be something different, wouldn't it? So, Sexyy Red this week. Ski! So, looking forward to that. But yes, how many YouTubers do you know would drop a Nightbird video and then decide to stream at the same time? Hey? Brave. And also very stupid. But, yeah, I was saying earlier when I thought we were live that I got a call or an email from Tommy. And Tommy basically said, I can't do the Wrestling Escape Pods tonight, but I can do it tomorrow. So I was like, that's fine. We'll do it tomorrow. And so all of a sudden, I found myself with an extra hour. And I did think to myself, shall we start the NXT stream early, right? Should we go early on the NXT stream? And that was an option. But I thought, well, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through my Nightbirds folders, because if I see some stuff that catches my eye on Twitter, something that I'm like, oh, I like that, I put it in a folder. So I know there's some interesting stuff in those folders because it's stuff that's grabbed my attention. And so if it's grabbed my attention, I'm sure it's going to grab your attention. So I was like, nah, let's use this to do a Nightbird video. There's no new QR codes, but honestly, that's good for me because I need to get through those folders. If there's a new QR code, we're going to be talking about that. So I need to try and get through these folders, get through this theory and all these thoughts. It's ended up being a 45-minute video. 45-minute video? In my mind, I was like, this will be 20 minutes. 45. And then it took ages to upload. And so that's why I had to delay the stream till 1:15. And then at 1:15, I'm sat here chatting away with you guys. And then flipping... So, yeah, that's my journey, right? That's the journey I've been on. But I am ready for NXT. I'm looking forward to NXT. And genuinely, I think this show looks like it should be a pretty decent show. And if you are a fan of Nightbird, there's a chance we get some tonight, but I'm not sure. There's a chance. I mean, we know that Joe Gacy is coming from NXT. So there may be a little tease on here. Because of Joe Gacy's involvement. And also, they want to just keep the kind of Nightbird conversation running. So it might be a case that they, we haven't had anything today, so they might want to drop something on NXT. They've done it before. I'm thinking not, to be honest. I'm thinking that we just had loads of activity leading up to King and Queen of the Ring, and now we're past that, and so now it's going to settle down a little bit. But it will pick back up as soon as we start building to Clash at the Castle. So yeah, I'm really kind of split on it all. Taming Pasta, shout out to you, my friends. I don't know what that is, but when it goes red, that's like red alert. That is like serious donation. So Taming Pasta, shout out to you, my friend. I so appreciate all the support. And I know I say like these things a lot, but like you get like obviously a lot of great community members that join us on a regular basis, and it's brilliant to kind of see those same faces. And like Taming Pasta is someone that we've been seeing for a little while, who has made a massive splash in that kind of Nightbirds kind of working stuff out world. And every time Tame's got something to say, like I can't imagine I'm the only one that's like, okay, here we go. Let's what we got. I do find that when Taming Pasta's got something, you need to be listening to it. So make sure that you go and follow Taming Pasta over on Twitter, because Taming Pasta's tagging me and stuff as well. So if you are following Tame, you will actually get information at the same time I'm getting information as well. Like Taming Pasta's finding some really impressive stuff. So really appreciate it, dudes. I genuinely don't know what amount that is, but I know that red is a serious donation. So it's whatever it is, you know, going back to the channel and is very much appreciated, my friend. Let's see what Tame's got to say, shall we, as we drop a heart on that. Daze, I hope you are well. I'm good, thank you. I want to clarify my theory. The Twitch stream, it shows 5 letters, not 4. There is one that is pre-written and placed on the table before the person starts writing. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've seen that one. Do we know what's in that one? This pre-written letter is the one that is shown to go to the bride. Okay, so Tame, have you, because I speak about this in the Nightbird video just... have we done, or have you done, and I'm guessing you're about to tell me you have, and I haven't done this myself, but have we looked at the envelopes that were written in that Twitch stream and then matched it up with who gets delivered what? Has that been done? I still stand by the thought that it could be the one that's delivered to the bride is not necessarily to the bride, but it is more a coming together, because it feels to me like that cabin and the woods and the lights, that feels like a place you would go to. I mean, I feel like it would be a bit strange for Uncle Howdy to go and visit Nikki and she'd just be standing there in a bride's dress, a cabin in the woods with candles all around her. Makes more sense for Nikki to be at home with her husband, living a normal life, and for then Howdy to take her away and then turn her into the bride. So I sort of see the bride as being the end of a journey, not the beginning of a journey. So the letter that could be delivered to her could be delivered to her, but I bet it's not an invitation. It must be something like a date. It must be something like, this is when we're all meeting. Everyone's been written to, this is when we're all going to gather. It must be something like that. I feel like the bride is in. I feel like she's in. I don't feel like we're starting the journey with her. I don't feel like you would give an invitation to her and, you know, because she's already become weird. I don't think you take... I mean, you can take people that are broken and lost and bring them in, but I don't know if that bride is broken and lost. I mean, she's beyond broken. Nikki Cross was broken and lost when she was, like, staring around and everything. This bride that's standing in a wooden shack that's got candles and she's in, like, this big gown and she's all spooky and everything. That ain't, I mean, that's beyond broken, surely. So I love the thoughts that you've had that there is a fifth, or not thought, but the observation you've had that there is a fifth letter. Have we matched up those envelopes to where they're being delivered? I'm looking for Tame to give me an answer to that. I'm just looking to see if I've missed anything, and I don't think I have. Oh, here we go. Yes, the envelope shown in the cabin, WhatsApp, the pre-written letter, it all matches precisely. It is the same. Tame, that's really interesting. And the other thing as well, have we managed to figure out which letter is the cabin? Because I believe we watch the envelopes getting written, don't we, in the Twitch stream? So we watch the envelopes being written. So that means each envelope is written individually. They're not just copied or printed or anything like this. Like, we see the pen write in Remember Who You Are. That means there will be slight differences with word placement and how letters, like certain letters are written. So have we figured out yet? And if we haven't, it's clearly not a problem. It's not your responsibility. It's just, that would be a very interesting piece of work to do, where we can actually then go, right, that letter, the Eric Rowan letter, that's the one that goes to the cabin. So we then know that's Eric Rowan's cabin. And then that would give us something a bit more concrete. That would give us a good foundation. I feel, do you know what? I never really thought about doing a stream where we actually dig into talking about Just Nightbird and just chatting about Just Nightbirds. But maybe there is a need for that. Now, if the dust settles, the problem we've had is it's been QR codes, Twitch stream. It's just been big thing, big thing, big thing, day after day after day. I mean, didn't we get something on Wednesday? That was WhatsApp. Thursday was Twitch. Friday was a QR codes. Saturday was the King and Queen of the Ring codes. Sunday was the updated journal. Monday was the QR code on Raw. Here we are on Tuesday. Like, every day there has been something. So we've not had that chance to really take stock. And that's, I think, something that we really need to do. That's why I did the video earlier, because I've just got folders full of stuff and I need to try and work through them. The pre-written letter was not written on the stream. It was already on the table from the start of the stream. I think that's really interesting. I didn't even notice there was a pre-written letter, to be honest with you. So, and we're saying that that envelope is the one that we see getting dropped down onto that trunk. Prince Ryan, shout out to you. Tame, I'm with you. I'm dialed in. Like, you just cook. You cook. You fire away. I'm dialed in. Cabbage Patch Cannibal, shout out to you. Joseph, shout out to you. And Prince Ryan, shout out to you. We will do a member stream this week. We did one last Thursday, and we'll get another one done this week as well. Hasib said, Daze, I've got a question. Do we think that Damian Priest is not being booked as the guy on Raw? He just feels like another guy with Drew, CM Punk feud, Gunther, Liv, Dom thing overshadow him. Yeah, no, he's not being booked as the guy. He is the guy in the sense of he's the world champ, but he's not a guy that's doing much heavy lifting. We don't necessarily open the show with him, end the show with him, have a thread throughout, have... You know, like, you know, it's not the same way we presented Roman, for example. But then I would say that we're not having Cody do as much heavy lifting. I think there is an acknowledgement that you are not going to be able to lean on Cody and lean on Damian the same way you leaned on the Bloodline. The Bloodline was a group that was well established. It was not just thrown together. It was a group that we could explore the dynamics. They were family. You had Paul Heyman involved, one of the best talkers. You had Roman Reigns, one of the best looks, presentation-wise, you know. I think Roman was always the guy. His main evented WrestleManias. I mean, he is a big star in his own right. Put him next to Paul Heyman. Put the Usos with him. Call him the Bloodline. Give them the opening segment, normally the closing match, and segments in between. That's hard to follow, man. That's hard for Cody to follow. And I know people are saying, like, well, the creative should be better, and I don't disagree, but I think what they've actually done is they've gone a slightly different way, in the sense of, we don't need Cody to carry the weight. We don't need him to, and we don't need Damian to. It should be a team effort. It should be that we've got lots of great stories, and we've got lots of great creative, and we've got lots of time for the whole roster. It should be a team effort. Damian's at the top, but the weight he's carrying, I mean, if he wasn't on the show, it wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem. There's enough other stuff going on. Maybe a bit more of a problem not having Cody. Maybe a bit more of a problem. But certainly now we've come out of King and Queen of the Ring. But I think that they are looking at it and thinking, well, you know, we need... You don't know when injuries are going to strike. At the moment, we don't have Seth. At the moment, we don't have CM Punk. At the moment, we don't have Rock because of Hollywood. At the moment, we don't have Roman because he's, I think, been in Hollywood as well. So absence and injuries means that you do need a strong roster. You do need depth. You know, Manchester United learned this lesson this year. You can't just have a starting 11. You need a squad. And I think that it's interesting because if you lean so heavily into one superstar, what you get back is people saying, I'm a bit bored with the show. There's nothing but Bloodline that I care about. So you get people criticizing that there's only Bloodline. But then when you actually try and space it out a bit more, and you've got Liv and Dom, you got Chad and Otis, you got something with Carrion and New Day, you've obviously got the Bron Breakker situation, and there was a message sent from Adam Pearce earlier today on that. And then you've got obviously like Sonya and Shayna and Zoe, and there's a little something going on there. You know, some of these stories aren't the biggest, but there's just lots of... You know, big stories like Chad and Otis is pretty big. Liv and Dom is really big. And then you've got like these little things bubbling away in there as well. Like if you try your best to have like a nice spread, then the criticism comes in that, you know, this person, the champ, doesn't feel like he's that big of a deal anymore. So you can't really win, to be honest. If you go the one direction, people are upset. And if you go the other direction, people are upset. I think it was right to lean into Bloodline because it's just been a money-making machine. It's been a money-printing machine. It's just worked. If you've got a money-printing machine, you're going to use it, right? And so they've used it, and that money-printing machine was called the Bloodline. And the time came for us to, you know, finish Cody's story. Time came for Roman to go to Hollywood and do a project. Time came for WrestleMania 40 to have its moment, and for Cody to have his moment. The time came to pull that trigger, right? And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I do not look back at that and go, oh, they made a big mistake. I don't feel that way at all. Not one iota do I feel that way. Because I just think what they did was quite smart. Afterwards, they went, right, we can't match the money-making machine that was the Bloodline, right? With Cody and Damian Priest. We can't. We're not going to be able to. And, you know, we've got a bit of a quiet period in the sense of Backlash ain't the biggest of shows, right? And King and Queen of the Ring is so-so. Clash is going to be so-so. Money in the Bank's not too bad, but SummerSlam, that's what we really care about. So we've kind of got this period now where we can get a few things done. We can get a few bits done, right? And there's a few things which we do which just eat up TV time, and they provide big ratings, big talking points. They're worth doing, but so you wouldn't want to not do them. They're worth doing, but they can get in the way a little bit. One of them, the draft. The draft can definitely get in the way. I mean, it shakes everything up. People are moving brands. You've got to start new feuds. I mean, it really gets in the way. The draft, you know, causes disruption. So you might as well do that straight after WrestleMania. I can see the thinking with that. That makes logical sense to me. You do WrestleMania. That's like your season finale, and then you do your draft. Then the other thing, which we don't always do, but we've done this year, is King and Queen of the Ring. You know, you're talking a lot of TV time being eaten up with matches, to the point where we've had to do some of those matches at house shows, and it upset people that LA Knight was not on TV with his match and whatnot. That causes a lot of disruption. So we've kind of come out of WrestleMania. We've gone into the draft. We've come out of that. We've gone into King and Queen of the Ring. We've obviously built Backlash in that time. We've obviously built King and Queen of the Ring in that time. And we just don't need, at the moment, that sort of bloodline to suck up all the TV time, because we're just doing a few other bits at the moment, and we're building up some stars. And hopefully by, you know, Lyra having a good showing, and by Gunther going on to get his opportunity at SummerSlam, with Elia having a good showing, like coming out of King and Queen of the Ring, we've built some stars. There's some names that are a bit bigger than they were before, or some names have been introduced. You know, I mean, we've done great work with Jade. We're continuing to build Tiffany, who's really over Tiffy time. People love that. So we're kind of going through a reset. We're going through, I mean, to me, it feels like we're in episode 2, 3, 4 of like a 26 episode season, you know? Like you've had your big opener of the season. That was the Raw after WrestleMania. You've kind of now settled down into the story, and at the moment you're just planting the seeds, really. You know it's going to build to a big mid-season finale. That'll be SummerSlam, and then we'll pick up after that, and then we'll build to the grand finale, and that'll be WrestleMania 41. So it's a conversation that is definitely worth having, because I feel like this is a conversation we have quite a bit. And I think it kind of answers a few different things. It answers the Cody stuff. Like, why does Cody just feel a bit flat? It answers the Damian stuff. I think it answers why we're kind of not doing the Mama Road stuff right now. Because I really think that that's what you do for SummerSlam, and that's what you do for WrestleMania. And then you've got to try and find a way of making these B shows as captivating as possible without that kind of stuff, because you don't want to overdo that kind of stuff. You don't want to do that stuff all the time, because then when you do it, it's not going to have the same impact. So it's probably right to save that stuff for SummerSlam, save it for the WrestleMania builds. And the challenge is, can you put on B shows that are going to really, like, you know, please people, get views, get people talking, that are going to do enough that people are going to go, yeah, that was all right. I enjoyed that. It might not blow their minds, right? Everyone's always going to want returns, surprises. People are always going to want those things. But you can't really deliver that all the time. Otherwise, look at AEW. AEW, I think, showed that by doing constant returns and constant surprises, constant huge announcements, people start to loses its impact. You know, the big announcements, I mean, there was only so much big news they had. All of a sudden, the big announcements weren't as big, were they? And all of a sudden, these surprise people that were coming in, they weren't the kind of caliber that people were looking for. They were smaller stars that were kind of being really hyped up, you know. You would tune into an AEW show to see who's coming back or what's happening on this show. And it really did start to lose its way. I think that WWE are right to focus on their products, focus on telling stories, and really try and build for the future, try and invest in some stars, build some stars, and really look at your SummerSlam, your WrestleMania in particular, those two as being your big, this is where we go bonkers. And then the rest of it, you turn it down a little bit. You still deliver amazing matches. I mean, AJ Cody was 5 stars, according to Dave, of course. And, you know, you really do lean into that. And I think that it's it's not a bad strategy. It's kind of hold him. Which, you know, I understand some people will be like, I want better than that. I mean, we always want better. We always want the shows to be better. But it's about kind of trying to find a way forward, trying to find that balance, trying to find something that's, you know, works. That doesn't then mean that you can't turn it. You can't just run at 10 out of 10 all the time. Like, because when you get to SummerSlam, we all want that dial turned up. This is the problem. People always want the dial turned. They always want returns. They always want every show to be 10 out of 10. It's like, it's unrealistic. That's an unrealistic expectation. So I love the conversation because I think it really touches on quite a few points there. So I really love that. Was that Undercover Manager? Really love that question. And I think that kind of hopefully lays out where I think they are at the moment, where I think they're going big picture wise, and why I just don't think there's any panic at WWE, nor should there be. Ratings, I mean, I haven't seen what Raw's ratings were, but past few weeks they've been absolutely fine. 1.7 range. Lovely. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. Thanks for tuning in. Richard said Cora Jade might face Roxanne instead of Tegan Nox. Well, then you need to vote other. It could be Cora Jade, but it could be. I mean, I don't know when she's back from injury. I just think it was the fact that Ava called Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. That's what made me think that it's going to be a main roster star. So if I'm voting, I'm really leaning Tegan Nox. I'm really if it's I'd go as far as say if it's anyone other than Tegan Nox, I will be really surprised. If it is anyone other than Tegan Nox, I will be shocked. That was the first name I thought, just because we've got nothing for her. The girl can't even get on TV. We just don't seem to have anything for her. So, and words on the street were that NXT were interested in, yeah, bring her back. We'll do something with her. So that's who I'm expecting. But you're right. If it is Cora, she might be back, but she was out injured, wasn't she, for quite a while. JP Ville said, Cody is too generic of a good guy. I've been saying since last year, here's too I'm American. I eat apple pie. I do good all the time. Well, I mean, you could muddy up the waters, but it didn't stop him getting great support in the build to WrestleMania. Obviously, a lot of that was to do with him finishing the story, and now he has. What else, can we focus on? But I think that there's enough support for him. I think that it's fine if you had interesting, good creative. But that's the problem, isn't it? It's not at the moment. He's not a massive focus. It's just put him in there with AJ, put him in there with Logan. Let's do a contract signing. It's a long way away from Mama Rhodes. It's a long way away from that. Right, here we've got Ava opening the show. And we've got a championship belt in the ring tonight. Special guest. Are we starting with Sexyy Red? So Ava introduces. She was loving that, Ava. Her talking she's got so much more confident. Here's Sexyy Red making her way out of the crowd. Are loving it as well, So Sexyy Red making her way down to the ring. Booker T going crazy on commentary. Sexyy Red steps. It doesn't look like she's going to be singing. This is terrible, said Tom. So Sexyy Red is walking around a plinth. We've got a little bit of this going on. Little bit of this going on. Thank you so much for being here. We're so happy to have you, says Ava. We are thrilled to have you. Sexyy Red is going to be hosting Battlegrounds. It's okay. Is she going to unveil this championship? Okay, so the Women's North American Championship is on a white strap. The front plate is, I mean, it's exactly the same as the men's by the looks of it, but the color in the background of the front plate is red. Sexy Red. Oh, hello. We got Tatum trying to get the belt. Sexy Red's grabbing a hold of it. Here's Michin. Michin making her way down. There's a bit of a big shot there by Michin. So Tatum was pulling on that Women's North American Championship. It's a nice looking belt, actually. I really like it. So Michin, North American. So Sexy Red is going to be the host of Battleground. There it is. I wanted to find it so that I could show you. Ski. Yes. Yes. There we go. I don't think it really showed the red behind in the background when Ava showed it on the screen. But there it is. Look. That pops, man. I think that looks really nice. But this is a women's belt, so like, where's the pink and where's the butterflies and everything? Do you remember the Divas title? I thought that was a women. I thought that's what women liked. Don't they like pink? Don't they like pink and butterflies? That's what the Divas belt taught me. Sparkles and pink and butterflies. What's this? Eh? Sexy Red. What's this? Ski. So there we go, a little bit of class this. In fact, I'm going to retweet that out. Love this. Great looking new championship revealed in NXT. Let's go. Right, so we've got our first match. This is Michin taking on Tatum. And this is to decide who qualifies, isn't it? This is a bit strange because really both of these women should go through. Oh, right. Let's go down into here. We've got Jada Parker making her way down to the ring. Cameron Wrestling said, "Hello, everyone. I'm new to this community." No, you're not. No, Cameron, I've seen you around. Hello, everyone. I'm new to the community. I just want to say thank you to you guys and Daze for creating a safe place for wrestling. Oh, is this a safe place? You're joking, aren't you? We've all got knives and guns and shanks and stuff. This ain't no safe place. F that. This is the streets. This is the streets. This is where Sexy Red hangs out. Yeah. Ski. Safe place. No, you're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Thank you. I really enjoyed the Nightbird videos, and hopefully we might get one tonight, says Cameron Wrestling. Well, maybe Cameron Wrestling, you're a different Cameron Wrestling to the Cameron Wrestling that I'm used to talking to. So maybe you are new. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But if you are new, welcome. This is a safe place, space, kind of a thing. But it's also like, do you know what I mean? It's also not. And remember that. Remember that. This is where the big boys play, just like WCW. And that turned out to be a great success. So Cameron Wrestling, shout out to you, my friend. JP Ville said Cody still says G Willie Acres. What the hell's that? G Willie Acres. G Willie Acres. What the hell's that? When he's cold. I don't even know what that is. G Willikers. G Willikers. G Willikers. G Willikers, I'm cold. Good gosh. Good gosh. G Willy Wilkers. There we go. Since when is this a safe place? It's got me and William in it, said James. James, we've got a new friend. Don't scare them away. Cameron, shout out to you. This is, but you hang out with me, Cameron. We need a list. Stay away from William Hensey. Stay away from James Chadwick. Stay away from Eric. Stay away from Tommy Toy Travels. Stay away from him. Stay away from Albert Marble. Yeah, stay away from him. Stay away from Serious Gaming as well. Yeah. You can hang out with Mr. B. Mr. B's all right. In fact, I'd say Mr. B might be the only one. Now I'm going down the list. Danny D's all right. You can hang out with Danny D. Missy, bit hit and miss, to be honest. Akim, nah, stay away. So Killer, stay away. Definitely. Joe, stay away. Yeah, Serious Gaming said stay away from me. Yeah. I think actually we need a list, don't we? We need a stay away list, be cautious list, and absolutely fine to hang out with these people. I got a feeling the stay away list is going to be like... The be cautious list is going to be... Yeah, there's going to be a good amount. You can hang out with these people is going to be like 2 names, isn't it? It's going to be 2 names. And 2 names of people that aren't even in our community. So, yeah, Cameron, shout out to you, my friends. You are welcome. You are welcome into the bosom that is this community. Don't talk about Tommy like that, says Shakeem. Come on, Shakeem. I think even Tommy would admit, that it's probably best that you stay away from him if you are new into this world. It's probably best that you do just, air with caution. That's what I would say. Just approach with caution, like you would a lion at feeding time. Right, we are back to the action. We was at commercial break. What about me, said Kian. Stay away. Yeah, I really gave that some thought then. But definitely stay away. I'm safe, said Jean-Pierre. Wow, anyone that says I'm safe is normally not safe, is it? That's a bit like going up to someone in the park that's got sweets, old man, and he's like, no, you can trust me. You can trust me. Are you sure? You're sure you've got the sweets in your car? Yes, I've got the sweets. Bags and bags of sweets. You can trust me. That's you, Jean-Pierre. That's you. You're that man. With bags of sweets in his car, but when you get there, they're actually not. They're not sweets. I was trying to think what they would be, and I can't think what they would be. What would they be instead of sweets? I don't think Jean-Pierre would have drugs. I don't think Jean-Pierre expected me to say that when he woke up this morning. I wonder if Daze will tell everyone in the community that he doesn't think I have drugs on my person. Well, Jean-Pierre, it happened. I don't know how we've got here either. I'm just as shocked as you. Oh, lovely work there by Tatum. Doug said, I would let you hold the flashlight like a 7-year-old kid helping his dad fix the car just to be sure you would hold it still. Doug, what's going on here? Are you trying to woo our newest member? Is that what's happening? Is this grooming? Guys, please, no grooming. Did you tell the new people that we do some random drug testing? Well, they should know, in all fairness. I think this community is pretty well known for that now. Certainly after some of the things we found in the past. Thank you very much. Kick to the side of the head there by Tatum. Kojiko said, get it, Daisy. Get it, Daisy. 6 sleek swans swiftly swim southwards while 7 slippery snails slide silently sideways. Gumbo, another enemy arcade, and... Well, good to see Coach Co is back to his usual. You know this new person has gone now, you know. They've gone. We've lost them. Damn, they were having so much fun. And then we spoke about grooming and drugs and shanking and people they should stay away from. And Koji Cub arrived and he was being weird. Lovely work by Meechin. 2, 3. Meechin gets it. Jeez Louise. Right, let's end this poll. And we need to run a new poll now. Meechin securing the victory in a hard-fought battle against Tatum Paxley. So, match score. What did you think about it? What is your match score? Great, good, or bad? What do we think? Prince Ryan said, only groom your dogs. That is great advice. I love that. I'm going to have that on my tombstone. Okay, here's Gallus. There's only 2 of us allowed at ringsides. Here's Metaphor. Or Meta 3, because there's no Amdar. If we had got to Noam, you would know about it. I do love Joe Coffey's look with his moustache now. Who is he looking at, says Jakara. I'd like, look at me, that'd be me, that would. If I was to have one of them. I could probably rock that, you know. I could probably rock that, not bad. If I was sat... Oh, man, I'd look like such a hipster. If I was sat here like this, if I had like a Joe Coffey... I look like an angry Victorian. And that is so the vibe I've always wanted. Angry Victorian. Guys, if you tune in for SmackDown, there is a small chance that I will be sat here looking like someone that owns a fabulous flying machine. Right, Riley Osborne coming up next. He's going to be in action. Actione. Riley versus... Who's he facing? Riley Osborne's taking on Ridge Holland as they make their way down to the ring. Serious Games said, don't do that. You're going to scare away the new people. It's going to happen eventually. I can still see it. I can still see it. If I put a bit of product in that, we are off, man. We are off. Imagine if I actually did something with this. Any of this. That could be... This could be a whole new world. Grooms are for weddings and horses, says Kim's Trains. Love that. Love that. Do you groom... Oh, you do groom a horse, don't you? Yes. Not in that way. Daze, you could rock... Yeah, Simon Gotch. OG. I used to love the Vaudevillains. There is a picture, which I don't even know if I'd be able to find it now, where I did actually do that, like back in 2015. The old... I think if you are a guy and you've got a bit of facial hair, you will do that at some point. You will do the old... You will do that. And there is a picture that I've got of me in black and... I went black and white as well. I went full-on Vaudevillain. Yeah. And... but I don't know that I've got it, to be honest. It's probably on an old phone. So it was before the channel. No, I just did it for lols. Lols? I didn't even do it for a channel. I didn't even have a channel. But I did used to love the Vaudevillains. William said, imagine Liv and Dom sex video. Dom completely not into it and trying to escape. Trying to escape? And what, she just keeps pulling him back over? It'd probably be handcuffs, wouldn't it, thinking about it? There would need to be some sort of restraint. And maybe him just crying really, not enjoying it. I don't know, it's probably best to not think about it too much. Don't get a Vince stash, said James. Well, that's, yeah, isn't that like where you sort of get rid of the top bit? And you just have this little bit kind of, yeah. Yeah. Tyler Bate and Johnny Moss Mustache Mountain have got a new member. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, he doesn't do that anymore, does he, Tyler? I think he's sort of moved away from it, unfortunately. Have you got to make that noise when you twirl your staff? What noise? What noise? What noise would that be? That noise. That's what I want to do. Yes. It just automatically comes out. I didn't even realize. You would look like an 1800s chocolatier? Would I? I have no idea what an 1800s chocolatier looks like. Have you got like a favorite or something? How do you know what an 1800s chocolatier looks like? An 1800s shopkeep. I believe all shopkeeps back then kept themselves in very good order. Very good order, you know? Oh, I tell you, I'm really leaning into this now mentally. It's really got me thinking. Daze is turning it. Oh, could you imagine? Over the next few weeks, I just slowly turn into Uncle Howdy. And by the time we actually get to June 17th, I'm just sat here in full costume. That would be the best. Prince Ryan said, that's called a lip stash. Is it? That's what it's called, a lip stash. Lip stash? Tom said, Daze, you're going to start looking like the Lorax. Oh, yeah, I remember that film. I saw that film. I remember that. I remember seeing the trailer for that, and I thought it was quite funny. I watched the film. It wasn't as good. But I remember the trailer for the Lorax, and I was like, oh, yeah, I could watch that. I think there's a few films that have kind of had that impression. You know, things like Sausage Party. That always looked fun, but the reviews have never been good. Or at least not that I've seen. And what was the other one? Garfield's. That looked all right. I've never watched it. It's probably awful. Oh, hello. We're back to the action. I do want to see Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World, whatever it is, that film. I do want to see that. I never got a chance to watch that at the cinema. NXT Battleground then next Sunday. We'll be here. We'll be here. Lola takes on Shayna. Here is Ariana Grace. I need to ask you. Do you seriously intend to go through another barbaric underground match? Latina Fire was burning hot. I love Ariana Grace. She's a true cage fighter, and Lola says so am I. Oh, Ariana Grace. Bit of bad language. Right, Rich Holland making his way out. Daze, you could either be Mr. Moneybags from Monopoly, listening, or the Pringles man. Oh, wow. Can't lose, can you? I'll take either of them. Mario Bros was good for a Nintendo kid, said SP. Do you know, I don't know if I'm a Nintendo kid. I don't know. What is your favourite console? I've been really thinking about this because I have got like an little emulation thing that'll play like loads of old games. And I'm like, I don't really know what console I should be like really digging into, you know? Because I feel like it's probably best to, rather than just playing this game, that game, this game, it's probably best to just like really dig into the catalogue of one console. You know, just pick a game, play it, and then dig in. So I was like, oh, what console should it be? And I'll tell you the console I've always wanted to really dig into, the console I've always really wanted to explore the catalogue, Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64 has got Legend of Zelda. I think, is it Ocarina of Time, which I've never played, but is goated, right? Everyone tells me it's goated. It's always at the top of like best game lists or around the top, right? Legend, yeah. GoldenEye. I mean, the amount of hours of GoldenEye that I played, yeah? I mean, that is just one of the greatest games of all time. Super Mario 64, one of the greatest games of all time. Yeah, Mario Kart 64, one of the greatest games of all time, right? I mean, it is a console that has got some bangers on it, man. Obviously, you could probably go back and look at it and go, oh, I don't like this. But for me, I still remember those games from when I was young. 64. I think if you go back before that, you can find some amazing games on the Mega Drive, the SNES, of course. But you're not going to get 3D worlds, are you? You're not going to get 3D worlds. So then I was like, oh, do you go then for the GameCube? But I don't think the GameCube games were as good. Don't think those are as good. And no one talks about the Saturn. No one talks about the Dreamcast or the Saturn. Those consoles might not have existed. They might as well have not released them. No one ever talks about them. If ever you talk about the best consoles, it's PS2, maybe the OG PlayStation, Xbox 360, Mega Drive, Nintendo 64. You know, those are the kind of NES. Those are the kind of thing. No one ever talks about Saturn or Jaguar. Jaguar, that was one, wasn't it? I never had it. But, yeah, no one talks about Dreamcast. I think 64 is the one I need to dig into. Halo 2 is the best game, said Jason. I would beat you in GoldenEye, said Mr. B. You probably would. I would never claim to be good. But I put a lot of hours in, and I really used to enjoy as a kid playing that with my friends. Oh, man, what a night that would be. Friends would come round. You'd play Mario Kart 64, one of the greatest multiplayer games. Couch co-op, right? We didn't call it that back then. It's just multiplayer. And because there was no online multiplayer. And so you'd play that, screen split into 4, and then you'd go, should we play GoldenEye? And then you'd play GoldenEye multiplayer. Mate. Honestly. I can't imagine a better night. Just playing them 2 games with some friends, some foods, some beers. That's heaven. That's it. That is what heaven looks like. I experienced it in the 90s. Rich Holland is in control. 64 is timeless, said Zokiller. Def Jam Fight for New York on the GameCube was fun, said Draco. 64 was amazing until the PS2, said William. Yeah. PS2 could be the console, to be honest. I mean, you're getting the 3D worlds. I just don't know about the load screens. And to be honest, the thing with the 64 is, even though it wasn't as good, because I think PS2 was a bit more advanced, I feel like the colourful worlds of Nintendo just make it a bit more fun. Whereas with PS2, you can get some real dark, grimy worlds that are a bit uninviting, you know? But it's undeniable you've got some incredible games. I mean, is it not PS2 where you get in Vice City and you get in San Andreas and you get in Grand Theft Auto 3 and, you know, there's just amazing games. Maybe that's what I need. Perhaps I just need to dial into PS2. I don't know, it's mental, innit? Now with emulators, you can just get an emulator, download a load of ROMs, right? It's not legal, but deal with it. And then, like, off you go. You just be game in heaven. But as I said, rather than going, oh, I'm going to play this on 64, I'm going to play this on Mega Drive, I'm going to play this on PS2, I think it's probably better to just go, here's 50 games I'm interested in on PS2. Here's the PS2 emulator. Let's go. Not that I've got the time to do it, right? This ain't happening, but, you know, it's nice to dream, isn't it? It's nice to have a dream. Daze, some traditional tattoos would go with your new look. I've never been a tattoo person, to be honest. I sort of feel like what I would need to do is get the moustache. Then I would need to build up my physique, right? So that it actually looks like a physique, right? Rather than, like, looking like the ill person that I look like. Build myself up. Then we can talk about tattoos. But I feel like that's the final stage, to be honest, in me kind of evolving into my final form. Right now, I think I'm still at 8-year-old level. There's still a long way to go. But thankfully, I'm only 21, so it's fine. Check NHL. Shout out to you, my friends. D-Mac said, get a Switch. Okay, I'm into this. Get a Switch. Although a new system is coming next year. You can access a catalogue of games from the older systems with a subscription. That is true. You are correct. But you can... I don't think there's GameCube on there. There is Nintendo 64, and they do have some games on there that you can play, some good ones, GoldenEye and all that good stuff. So you are correct. And I love the thought, and I am totally with you, right? That has been something that crossed my mind. But if that's the plan, if digging into 64 is the plan, that's probably, as you say, the way to do it, or the legal way to do it. But I just don't know if 64 is the plan. I don't know if that's what I want to do, or if I want to go GameCube. I don't want to go Wii. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be jumping around the room. I mean, I don't do any exercise, and I ain't about to start. So I don't want to go Wii, and I don't want to go Wii U. And I'm sure there were some games that you didn't have to jump around the room with, but perhaps the best console is the Switch. Perhaps that is just the answer. The Switch is the best console. I mean, it's got one of the best Mario games. It's got one of the best Zelda games. It's got one of the best Mario Kart games. It doesn't have GoldenEye, though, does it? That's the problem. It doesn't have GoldenEye. So, I don't know. I agree. I would imagine the console that's got the most classics on is PS2. I would imagine. I think William's right, but I think I might be a Nintendo boy. I might be. I never had a Game Boy, but I always wanted one. And I never had a Nintendo 64, but my friends did and my brother did, and that's how I played it. I always wanted one. I mean, not always wanted one where I was asking for it and I never got it. Like, if I asked for it for Christmas, I'm sure I would have got it. But it was always like, there was always figures, Hasbro, you know, old wrestling figures or wrestling stuff I would want instead. Plus also, I had a Mega Drive and I was quite happy with that. I mean, I could play Street Fighter. Loved it. I could play a soccer managing game called Premier Manager. Probably my favorite game. It's really dull. You just buy players, make your team better, try and win matches, try and get promoted. It's just text, really. It's really dull. But I enjoyed trying to... it's like leveling up your character, isn't it? You want to level up your character. Well, that's what you're doing with the team. You're leveling up your team and trying to, you know, climb up through the leagues. So it's... I always enjoyed that. Days, months, years I've sunk into games like that. Dropkick by Riley. Ridge is down. I tweeted you something non-wrestling, said Erica. Okay. Bit different. Riley is climbing up. And... oh, there we go. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. That is going to be me on Friday. Me on Friday. What? Tally ho. Very good. Very good. Okay, we've got Riley on the outside, and there's concern being shown by Andre Chase. We're half an hour into this show already. We've already had one match, Meechin and Tatum. It was all right. Now we're battling away with this. Actually, I need to record that. Riley picking up, or Ridge picking up Riley. Lands on his feet. There's a kick there. Super kick. Ridge goes to the outside. Riley jumps up, drop kick, and Ridge goes down. Thea screaming at Riley to get this done. He tries to go through the ropes. He gets nailed by Ridge Holland. Spills to the outside. Ridge having a little look over towards Chase U, and he's grabbing these ring steps, but Thea Hale stops him. And it is true, you don't need to go that far. Look how serious she is in the face. In the face, she's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Come on. You're better than this, Ridge. So he's going to try and win this the proper way, but inside cradle by Riley too. Oh, just kicked out there by Ridge. Swing and a miss by Ridge, but shot to the midsection. Going upstairs there by Riley. Riley battling away. Gets the ropes. Clothesline. Back elbow. Drop kick. Good work so far here by Riley to try and get back into this match. Back elbow again. Big chops coming in. Ridge is feeling the effects of those. Osborne going, I like Riley Osborne. I like him. He doesn't have the size of Ridge, though, does it? Oh, Ridge has planted him and he's killed him. 2, 3, he's done him. He's done him. Ridge has done him. He's dead. He's flipping dead. So it's like a DDT that just puts him away there. Right, that first match got 55 good. It got 19 great. It got 17 all time. And it got 7 bad. So 93% good for that. This was NXT 528. Right, we need to get up our next poll. And that is the question as to what you thought about that last match. So, Ridge and Riley. I've got like a month and a half of scores that I've got to try and enter. That is going to take me flipping forever. I might try and do some of that tonight. There's no way I'll get all of it done. Here, look, he wants to shake his hand. Shake my hand. Oh, Riley rolls out the ring. So Riley wouldn't shake the hand of Ridge. Thea looks very disappointed at that. We're backstage with the Good Brothers. Right, Thomas said, WCW NWO Revenge N64. Best game ever. Don't think I ever played it. I was never into, like, the WCW I would keep an eye on. I suppose in a way, like AEW now. But, yeah, I don't think I can't remember a friend having that or playing that. I mean, there was some amazing games, wrestling games out around that time. But yeah, that one I think is one that I would have to revisit. Perhaps that's another reason why N64 should be the console I go back to. Axiom, Nathan, do we have your attention now? Good Brothers. Send in a message. Very strong words from the OC. Okay, Oro's been attacked. Here's, oh my god, screeching. We got Jakara, we've got Lash. Oro has been attacked. Now do you believe Trick did it? Jakara just says to Lash. So they're trying to make out that it was Trick. It won't be Trick. He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. I wonder if they're taking themselves out. Do you think that's happening? And they're doing it to really try and make Trick look bad. Don't know. Okay, here's Blade and Anofi. They're making their way down to the ring with Brinley Reese. So, Blade and Anofi. Do we know who they're facing? Cody, Hogan, Rhea are going to be at Fanatics Fest. So, Blades and Anofi. Brian Lara Cricket on the Mega... Oh, Brian Lara Cricket. That's a great shout. That is one of the best sports games. Absolutely iconic. That's a great shout. Oh, it's the Good Bros. Let's go. WrestleMania 2000 was fire as well, said Zokiller. Dallas Cowboys fan said, I've not been watching the weekly shows. What do the QR codes mean? Well, it's basically, big picture, the return of Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, Dexter Loomis, Nikki Cross. There's a group that's coming in. We think June 17th. That's what we think. That's what I think. That's what many people think, because they keep coming up with June 17th. So, yeah, it's that. Okay, so Blades Anofi versus Good Bros. Feel a bit cold at the moment. I mean, I'm hoping there's a bit of a statement that gets sent here, because Gallows and Anderson, they do need some momentum. Obviously, they are a credible team coming in from New Japan. But if we are to build them up, when we need to really make them look like a problem. Anderson charging over, big kick to the midsection, and we are underway. Anofe is in the ring. Oof. Blade gets tagged in, and lovely teamwork there by Blade and Anofe. 1, 2, and shoulder up. Okay, so we might as well end this poll. Because we're going to need to start a new poll as soon as this match is done. So this got 63% good. It got 17% great, 16% all-time, only 2% bad. That means it gets a 98% good rating. Lovely. Daze, have you heard of Football Manager? It's like that football game. I have, Bembo. To be honest with you, it's too in-depth for me. I do struggle with them, because the great thing about the old managing games is that you could set training and stuff like that to sort of like an auto mode. So really what you was doing is you was picking the team, picking the formation, looking at the transfer market. Ooh, Brindley Reese just gets knocked down. But now, like, Football Manager, like, oh my God, it's so detailed. It feels like a second job. It feels like, do you know what I mean? You've got to be careful to not upset the dinner lady. And all this kind of stuff. Like, it's so detailed. You've set up calling young players up and like, oh, it's too much. This is why I love the older ones, because the older ones, there weren't as many features. But you still got the thrill of, like, picking the team, going to the transfer market. Like, you could change the training if you wanted to, or, you know, there was the youth coach would come to you going, I've got this player, do you want him? I think this player will be good. Do you want him to be in your team now? That was the youth system. Now you can, like, oh God, it's too much. Days, I've been a Nintendo and Nintendo Wii, now PlayStation. My top 3 games is Red Dead Redemption 2, Mario and Sonic London Olympics, oh right, and Madagascar on the PS2. Do you know, it's funny, you should say that. Do you know, one of the best games I played, and it sucks. It sucks, but it's funny, isn't it? Like, nostalgia, and also, not even nostalgia, but it was Up, the Disney film, was one of the best games I've ever played. And the reason being is because when I would finish work, I'd go back, and my partner at the time, she was not into gaming really, but, you know, we'd sometimes watch films, sometimes watch TV, stuff like that. And sometimes, you know, it'd be like, should we play a game? She's like, yeah, okay, we can do that. But she ain't going to be interested in all these big shooters and, do you know what I mean, running around Call of Duty, all that kind of stuff. And to be honest, I'm not that bothered. But so it was like, we want a fun kind of game that's just, you know, run around, collect things, whatever. And so we settled on Up, right? Because it was cheap, and it was a 2-player, and it was exactly that, colourful, run around, collect things. I really enjoyed it. One of us was the old man, right? I forget who it was. And the other one was the young boy. And you have to run around and you have to collect the tokens. And I just imagine it's very similar to, like, the SpongeBob games. Probably very similar to a lot of the other Disney games. But it was a 3D world. It was obviously 3D. And there was like, I think there was like power-ups and all this kind of stuff. There was enemies to beat, and it's very simple. It was, you know, it wasn't that challenging, of course, because it was for kids, but it was, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So I could imagine that Madagascar's not bad. I could play the SpongeBob games. I wish there was a killer Simpsons game. There was the Simpsons game, which was not bad, actually. Not bad at all. I mean, it did have some size and some scope to it. So, you know, they really did put the work in, but that's really old now, isn't it? But then the Simpsons aren't really what they were, are they, unfortunately? A new Simpsons game. Did you know they're making new Simpsons figures? Did you know this? Did you care? You probably didn't. But, yeah, new Simpsons figures coming out. Soonish as well, I think. Let me have a look. Oh, God, we're jumping all over the place. It's just nice to talk about something that's not Uncle Howdy, to be honest. So, let's have a look. We've got Simpsons figures. Simpsons figures. Yeah, 6th of September. 6th of September. So it is a it's a house. I mean, can I find a nice image? Okay, we are back from commercial break. I've still got the Sexyy Red thing. We don't need that. We need this. This is what we need. Look at this. New. Doesn't come out until September 1st, but it's their house, and you get Homer, and then I think you have to buy the other figures separately. But yeah, let's go. You can get that, pop that on your mantelpiece. Wonderful, wonderful conversation starter. Is that the Simpsons? Yep. Oh, the hours of conversation that will follow. So yeah, that's you get the house. It's only £25, $30, something like that. Bargain, mate. Comes out September, and I think there's some other bits they're doing as well. Right, coming up next, we're gonna find out Roxanne Perez's opponent once we're done with this Good Bros against Blade and Anofi. Good Bros are in control. Doesn't come out until June 17th, said it's Bryn again. I love that. Bryn's done some brilliant work. We've changed our profile picture on X. And he even did some that didn't have the Daze logo on with different coloured backgrounds. Love it. I went to change it, actually, to like a red background without the logo on. And it said, you cannot change your profile picture at this time. I don't know why. But it must be you can only change it so often or something. Don't know. So I wasn't allowed to change it. So I might be stuck with this one for for a little bit. The Therapist. Shot coming into the midsection. Headbutt there by Gallows. Daze. Cars on Wii was a good childhood game. It is still one of the best games. And the first Red Dead Redemption with John Marston, which I still need to play. Wrestling Daze said, the Simpsons Super 7s look good. Are those the big, like, deluxe ones? The Super 7s. Simpsons Super 7s. Yeah, they're the big deluxe ones. Yeah, they do look good, but they also look quite expensive, don't they? Anafe is battling away. Have they done just the family as normal? Or, because I can see, like, Bartman, and I can see, like, weird versions of it, like Homer Astronaut. Did they just do the family as normal? They do have Mo, though. That's pretty sick, isn't it? Big shot there. I do not need to start a new collection. That's what I keep telling myself. I do not need to start a new collection. But I could be tempted by The Simpsons. Oh, Oh, he tries to come crashing down there on Gallows, but Gallows moves out the way. Massive choke slam to a no-fee. Tag being made. In comes Carl Anderson, who goes against the ropes. Looks like the Magic Killer's coming, and it looks like it's going to put them away. Planted. 1, 2, 3. Done, mate. Done. Game over. So, there we go. It is a victory for Gallows and Anderson. It is a win for the Good Bros. And we are going to be moving on to finding out who Roxanne's opponent is going to be. The minute that Brinley Reese left was a game changer. So are they sort of making out that she is their lucky charm or something? Are they kind of going with that angle? It's a bit strange if they are. It's a bit random if they are. But a win for the Good Bros. Here's Axiom and Nathan. Doesn't take a genius to know what these two want. Nathan said, as long as we're tag team champs, you two won't get anywhere near these titles. We will see you at Battlegrounds. So it's going to be Nathan and Axiom taking on the Good Brothers at Battleground for the NXT Tag Team titles. Last Tuesday. Oh, yeah. Do you remember that, Dante? I forgot about that. Dante Chen last week. That was a fun moment, wasn't it? For over 2 years, I've waited for my opportunity, and we're just seeing him in the background. For over 2 years. Dante, stay ready. One day, it will be you. The response I received when I walked out, I will remember forever. That response was insane. He must have been killing it on NXT Level Up. Dante Chen is ready for whatever and whenever. Okay, we're backstage with Dante Chen. We can see Sean Spears back there. He's talking to OTM by the looks of it. Here's Lexis King. I'll take that bet. I'll show you it wasn't a fluke. So it looks like we're getting Lexis Dante rematch. Let's do it tonight, says Dante. All right. I thought he was going to say, no, let's do it at Battleground or next week or something. But it looks like it is going down tonight. There is Roxanne Perez making her way to the ring as we find out who her opponent is going to be at Battlegrounds. Right, have you ever played Mario Party, said Mitchell. I have, yeah. I like the game. It's just very difficult to kind of sit down and like get a group of mates together. I mean, I know you can play it on your own. I don't know that it's got the same effect. I mean, it really is a party game where you get like your friends and your family round. I feel like you can play things like Mario Kart on your own. You can play GoldenEye on your own. There's a solo campaign, of course. But I don't know, Mario Party, you could play it on your own. You can do it on your own, but I don't think that's what it was designed for, you know. That's why I've always sort of stayed away from it. But I haven't played like a new one on Switch or anything. I mean, I'm so far behind on games. I mean, this is why I'm just, and I don't, the problem is games are so big now. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I've got any spare time, it's probably a few hours, you know, if that. And I don't even think I've got that. So, but if I did have a few hours and I just wanted to take my mind off wrestling and just focus on something else, then I could play a little something, you know, a couple of hours on GoldenEye. Thing is, GoldenEye's, I don't know. I think I've read some like 15 hours, if that, to complete. I mean, I have been through the campaign, but I don't even know if I've finished the game, actually. That is something I need to do. I need to finish GoldenEye. That is definitely something I need to do. I need to go through that whole story and finish that flipping game. And I think it's about 15 hours to do it. But like games today, they're like, oh my god. Years. Years. You could sit here, I could be sat here all year and I still won't finish flipping whatever the big game is that's out right now. Don't even know what they are anymore. Don't even think I could name a big game. Stray. I saw one called Stray. I'll go with that. That probably takes like 2 years to complete. God only knows how long it's going to take people to finish Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't even know if you can finish it. I don't even know if it's coming out. Yeah, will anyone be here when that when that game comes out? Will it me going, guys? Guys, is anyone there? Guys? Football King number 2, morning. Shout out to you, my friends. Mitchell said GoldenEye is such a great game. It's a great movie as well. I agree. I agree. I've got such a connection to that game. Such a connection to that game. Do you know, I think there is something so magical about 1996, which I believe is the year that the N64 comes out. But it's also the year that England are in like a European Championship in England. And there's just this, I don't know, man. It's like, it's a real special time. 96 is a real special time. 96 is where you've got like Britpop, you got Oasis, you got Blur, you got the Spice Girls. Like, it felt like Britain was quite cool. You know, the Union flag was kind of cool. And, you know, there was a bit of anarchy around, but it hadn't got out of control. I think it would get out of control as we headed into the 2000s. But at that point, there was a bit of anarchy, a bit of naughtiness. But it was more cheeky than anything else. And you've got like some great guitar bass music, like some just brilliant tunes around at that time. Great films as well. Things like Trainspotting, amazing, great film, British film. And then you got the 64, and, you know, and England are playing in the football. And, you know, we're trying to win that, and it's in England. And there's just a good vibe in the country at that point. Or certainly in my little bubble. And, yeah, it was just a really fun time. I've got a real fondness to the 64. I've got an emotional bond to the 64. But there was never that many games for it. I think they only made like a couple of 100 games. Here's Trick Williams. Here's Javon. You know I got you, says Javon. We got Gallus tonight. We got to be on our A game, said Trick. Oh, here's Sexyy Red. Sexyy Red says she's loving it so far. There's a lot of sexy bodies and sweating. Do your thing. I was thinking. You might as well come out with me and the champ tonight. Okay? So Sexyy Red's going to be coming out with Trick and Javon. Ski. Thomas said, what arrives first, Wyatt 6 or GTA 6? Perhaps both. Perhaps both at the same time. Perhaps they'll arrive holding copies of the game. GTA Wyatt 6. That's what we're getting. Yeah, good question. Penfold Gaming, shout out to you. Look at this, we've been talking about gaming. We got all these gaming channels arriving like this. Penfold Gaming. Did someone talk about gaming? Is there a gaming conversation going on? Penfold Gaming said 2K24 GM mode against the community. Who, me? I don't have the game. I couldn't even tell you the last time I've like properly played a wrestling game. I think properly sat down and played a game, it would probably be SmackDown Raw 2008. But I have bought other games, wrestling games since then. But I always do the same thing. I have a little look at the match types, look at the roster, do an exhibition match, and then I put it down and I never, ever, ever pick it up again. That is my relationship with wrestling games since 2008. So I would probably file that under unlikely, to be honest. Right, we've got Roxanne. Who is she going to be facing? Who is she going to be facing? Sexyy Red, come on. Nicki Minaj, come on. At 13, I started training, says Roxanne. No one else can say they've been working towards this title for 9 years. All I ever cared about was the NXT Women's Championship. All of you are in the presence of true greatness. If we bring out Tegan, is that going to be big enough? Do you think? It's got to be bigger, surely. I'm having doubts now, but I am thinking Tegan. She's really laying it in. You're in the presence of greatness, all this kind of stuff. I deserve to be treated better. Who is it? I can... Ava. It's Ava. It's going to be Ava. I don't know why you've created this whole woe is me. I never said you was a bad champ. Okay. This does feel big, doesn't it? Roxanne, you'll be defending. Who is it? Who is it? No! What? 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 No! Shut up! Shut up! You shut up right now! You shut up! You shut up! Everyone shut up! No way! No flipping way! Ah, mate. Ah, it's done. It's done. I don't even know what this is anymore. I don't even recognize WWE anymore. It's Jordan Grace. And she's walked out with a TNA championship as well. What the flip? What the flip? You shut up! You shut up right now! This is amazing. This is amazing. I was thinking it might be Indy Hartwell. I was thinking it might be someone from the main roster. Jordan Grace? Has she got lost? Do they know she's there? Shuggy duggy crack crack. Jordan Grace. Oh my God, it's only just dawned on me we're going to get that match. Jordan Grace against Roxanne Perez is a match we're getting? No, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. What does this mean? Does this mean we're going to do loads of matches? What? Like NXT TNA? Like, what's this relationship? She's getting right in the face of Roxanne Perez. Oh, God, it's not fair. Look at the size difference. She's going to murder her. She's going to murder her. Oh, yeah. Shucky ducky. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Hashtag you shut up. No, you shut up. Everyone shut up. This doesn't make sense. How's this? This doesn't make sense. But it does make sense. It makes so much sense. Oh, God. I feel like we have to do a video, but I don't know why. I don't know why. I just feel like we have to. I feel like something this big, that's this shocking, you've got to do a video. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Amazing. Amazing, amazing news coming out of NXT. And honestly, I was not expecting this. This has blindsided me. And this will have blindsided, I think, the whole wrestling world. There was no rumors of this. I genuinely have not seen anything about this. I really thought this was going to be Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox was the name I was expecting. Roxanne Perez was going to find out who her opponent was going to be for Battlegrounds. NXT Battleground coming up next weekend. I think it's on the 9th, Sunday. And so she was standing in the ring and she was really bigging herself up. Like, as Roxanne was talking, it did feel like we were building to something quite big. And no disrespect to Tegan Nox. I was starting to think, is this going to be bigger than that? Because word on the street was that Tegan Nox, they're interested in bringing her back down to NXT and doing a run with her. And, you know, she's someone that's been on the main roster. I think there would be some excitement if she came back down, but scrap that. Forget that. Jordan Grace just came walking out. Jordan Grace, TNA Women's Champion. We saw her at the Royal Rumble. She killed it. I mean, she did such an incredible job. She killed it, right? So much praise. And we were waiting to see if there would be any further kind of crossover, right? I think that WWE are in an interesting position. There's no Vince, obviously. So we would not have done this before. I don't think it would have been allowed before. But now that Vince isn't around, we did see Jordan coming in for the Royal Rumble. Now we've got her coming in and challenging Roxanne Perez. I mean, if Jordan wins, what happens? If Jordan wins, what happens? Does Jordan take the NXT title to TNA and then we have to send someone to try and get it back? It's probably more likely that Roxanne will find a way of retaining and this is just a one-off. But if this works, if this creates the hype and the buzz that they're hoping it's going to create, what about the men? What about the guys? What about the male rosters and trying to make some dream matches? What about a World's End NXT versus TNA? I mean, the potential, this isn't just Jordan Grace has come in as a TNA superstar. This is what it can lead to. And obviously we had these conversations when she came in at the Royal Rumble. But look what it's led to. It has led to something. It's led to Jordynne Grace coming into NXT. So we were right to have those conversations. It has led to something more. And if this is a success, where does it lead to next? This would have been unimaginable under Vince, but I think WWE are trying to get partnerships going. I think partially because they don't want AEW to kind of have those partnerships. You know, if WWE work with New Japan exclusively, if they work with TNA exclusively, if they work with Noah exclusively, if they work with Rossi Ogawa's new company exclusively, you are really cutting off supply lines and talent lines into AEW. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why they're doing this, but I think that is a factor. I think that is a reason. It does make sense from that point of view. And also, I think TNA, you know, listen, they, no disrespect to them at all, right? I think that they are at a certain point, a certain level, and I think that level is stable. And I think WWE are quite comfortable with where TNA are in relation to themselves. I don't think this would be happening if TNA was pulling in 1 million viewers every week, right? But because that they are at the level they are, and WWE feels quite comfortable with that, I think there's probably a bit more confidence, and I think they're a bit more comfortable with having that working relationship. As I said, if they were maybe a bit closer, I don't think they would want to work with a fellow North American promotion like this. But honestly, I mean, I'm just blindsided. I'm just stunned. I am just stunned. This is quite the development. So there we go. Roxanne Perez has found out her new challenger. It's TNA Women's Champion, Jordynne Grace. Don't even know if you need to do a video, but I did it. I did it because I've got a sickness, an illness, where I have to just do videos. Oh my God. So good. I'm so excited for where this could lead. I'm really excited for where it could lead, because I think that this is going to be a breath of fresh air for NXT, and it's really going to open up a new chapter, you know? It's wild, said Kader. And then we were chatting about the Nintendo 64. We didn't know this was about to happen. Okay, Ariana Grace is making her way down. We've got about 49 minutes left to go. Oh, she looks great, Ariana Grace in blue. So Ariana Grace making her way down to the ring. Man, that is so sick. What do people think? Mitchell said WWE has got a lot of people that work for TNA. They came back and merged with them. Look at the list of WWE wrestlers that work for them. No, yeah, I believe you. I believe you. The problem has never been that. It's more been at that kind of business level, hasn't it? I mean, as we said, Vince, not interested. Why would I want to use my TV time that is very expensive? I mean, TV time is very expensive. Why would I want to use my TV time to promote another company? Give them free promotion. It would be like Coca-Cola using some of their advertising money to promote Pepsi. I mean, it doesn't make sense as to why you would do it. And that was always seemingly Vince's mentality. But under this new regime, they're thinking a little different. And I think they're thinking, well, it does make sense to do it, because we can create some excitement. We can create some sort of dream match scenarios that the fans are going to like. We can put on a better product. And not only that, I do think that AEW point that I made is very valid. I do think that they're looking at it thinking, well, you know, if AEW and TNA were working together like they were, and TNA was producing talent and it was just flowing into AEW, that is a problem for WWE, because that is a good developmental system that they've got set up, you know. But it's not gone that way. There's been a bit of a falling out, seemingly. And now WWE have got the opportunity to ensure that that doesn't happen again. And I think they've looked at it. And I think, by the looks of it, they're sort of proceeding with caution, aren't they? We haven't raced into anything since the Royal Rumble. We've just sort of tiptoed our way forward a little bit. But I really rate Jordynne Grace. I mean, I am not the right person to speak to about TNA. I really rate Jordynne Grace, though. I've always respected her, and I liked her Rumble performance. I prefer TNA over AEW at the moment, said K-Dub. I do believe I heard WrestleNomics mention TNA ratings have been about 60 to 80,000. This will help with the exposure. NXT gets a lot of buzz, and so it helps both sides, said Big Time. I think that's a really great point, Buds. I think that's a really great point. I mean, yeah. As I said, it's one of those that you go, maybe it doesn't make sense when you first think about it. As we said, why would you use your TV time to promote another company? But it does make sense when you kind of boil down to it there. Again, you know, I'm really not trying to be disrespectful to TNA. I'm really, really not, because I think this is great. I mean, hopefully people can see my excitement for it, you know, so I really am excited for it. But if they were closer to NXT, I don't think this happens. If they were more of a threat, you know. 1, 2, Lola gets the pin on Ariana Grace, and it is a victory for Lola Vice. That means that we need to run back. Maybe not run back. There might not be any running, but let's go back, shall we? Amazing. Right. Let's go live. Let's go back here. Let's go into our poll. Shayna Baszler. Either I tap you out or knock you out. You choose. I knew she was going to say the B words. I knew it. She snaps her head. She stares at the entranceway. Shayna Baszler is there. Either I tap you out or I'm going to knock you out. You choose which. But not which. It was the other one with the B. They're desperately trying to get at each other, but we do actually have some security guards that are able to do their job. We've got some security guards that are actually able to keep these separated. Right. Who's this boomer? Who are you? Who's this girl? Carly Bright. The sport of cheerleading. Flying through the air in front of 70, 80, 90,000 people. Is cheerleading a sport, is it? That's quite the switch, isn't it? Wrestling became my new love. NXT's Ray of Sunshine has officially arrived. So there we go, Carly Bright. Carly Bright has arrived. Here's Izzy Dame. Joe Hendry against Austin Theory or AJ Styles, said Kent. I'm not the right person, to be honest, bud, for that conversation. I don't watch. I don't keep up with the show. I mean, I know there's some excitement around Josh Alexander if he's still there. So I know that that would be a match, but Joe Hendry means nothing to me. I know that he had like a song that did well. Maybe he could come and do that. He could come and do that with Sexyy Red. Ski. Right, we got a little brawl backstage. Think of how big college sports is in America compared to the UK. Mate, it's just chalk and cheese, isn't it? Flipping chalk and cheese. WWE has got... Oh, hang on. Let's go into this chat. Alexis King making his way down. Didn't TNA sign a contract to partner with Endeavor for TNA Plus? And doesn't Endeavor own TKO? TNA did partner with Endeavor for TNA Plus, but that had nothing to do with anything other than they were just using them for the platform. Whether that could have led to a few other conversations, maybe. But they used them for helping get their streaming platform off the ground, TNA Plus. But that was the extent of where that went. And what was the other bit? Doesn't Endeavor own TKO? Endeavor is... Well, Endeavor, TKO has got, I think, isn't it like 51% of it is owned by Endeavor, and then like, was it 49% was like owned by WWE or something? I mean, look, clearly there is something that's gone down. There's some conversations that have happened, but I don't know it's that, to be perfectly truthful, just because that was them just building their online platform. I think it just comes down to Vince. I just think it comes down to Vince not being around anymore, and so a changing in attitude, you know? And we know that WWE are big admirers. It wouldn't surprise me as well if they're really trying to use Jordynne Grace because they really want her to join them. You know, they're trying to make it... they're trying to take away any mystery for Jordynne. Like, don't know what your fears are, don't know what you've heard, but come and have a look. This is what we do now. And when your next contract comes up, yeah? You know that's AEW. Yeah, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there, mate. Do you remember this place? We did that show at the Apex. You know, you made a load of friends there. You know that. Come and hang out with us. We like you. We'll give you a good contract. It's a good point though, Mitchell. I mean, they did go to them for work with their streaming service. I'm a huge fan of women's professional wrestling, says William. I don't think what you're a fan of is the same kind of thing that we're going to be seeing from Jordynne Grace and Roxanne Perez, though. But don't get your hopes up, William. It's not going to be anything like that, thank you. I'm a huge fan of women's professional wrestling. I am so optimistic about this, no matter what. Imagine Britt Baker, Camille, Thunder Rosa, Camille. They banged in TNA. What, you're optimistic about AEW's women's division? I'd love for Britt Baker to come over, but she won't. I mean, she'll just stay where Adam Cole is. I mean, wouldn't really make much sense, would it? Wouldn't really make much sense for her to leave Adam Cole and her come over here. That would be a bit strange. Ski. Doug said Vince had the company his father gave him, and he kept that image through the 4 decades. And now you've got Triple H, and you've got creative and fan-driven content. Yeah. The new era has shown itself again. What is the relationship between them? Well, I think the relationship's good. I mean, obviously, they reached out and brought in Jordynne Grace for the Rumble. And I remember there being a lot of talk at the time that they were open to other stuff as well. But to be honest with you, we just got to WrestleMania and then that's kind of got forgotten, to be honest. I mean, I was not sat here going, oh, do you think it's someone from TNA? Yeah, you're just really waiting for some sort of announcement, really. But I did think if anything would happen, it would be at the NXT level. You're not going to want to give your major Raw SmackDown time over to promoting some TNA stars, but, you know, here, bringing someone in. You could do an invasion. I mean, that would be exciting, wouldn't it? Imagine a TNA invasion angle. That would be exciting. Okay, we've got Charlie Dempsey. Damon. We need structure. We need discipline. We need a chain of commands. No! Capiche, Damon. Capiche. She's Charlie Dempsey's trying to be the family. Capiche, capiche. God, I've got it. Capiche. Capiche, capiche. Okay, so Oro Mensah is getting checked over by the doctor. After everything we've been through, I know he won't lie to me. Well, you don't know guys then, do you? It's all we do. We are scum. Here's Dante Chen then, so we're moving on to our next match. It's a rematch. It's Lexis King versus Dante Chen. Chen, isn't it? Not Chan. Chen. Chen. E-N. E-N. Let's go. Are you doing UFC 302? Yes. Has that not been updated at the bottom? Has it not been updated? I did update it and add it to it. But I don't know. I don't know if I've changed this one or not, to be honest with you. So Booker T was back in Lexis King last week, and Vic Joseph was just mocking Booker for getting it wrong last week. Which way is it going to go this week? Lexis King, Dante Chen. Good reaction for him again, you know. He's laughing his head off, Booker. He's like, of course it was a fluke last week. Chen's winning, isn't he? This is just the outset here, Vic. Come on, Vic. You should know by now, Vic. Now, I'd imagine TNA have probably sent out a little post, haven't they? One would imagine. Daze, it could happen at Survivor Series, said Mike. I don't think they would do it at that level, to be honest with you, buds. I think that your TV time is really important. And you're building up stars and everything. It's really important. I think Raw, SmackDown, I can't see anything happening there. I think that you do it at the NXT level. I think if we were going to do it, it would be a Worlds Collide kind of a show, you know? You build up, like, they invade us, we invade them, and you do stuff like that. But I think there is a perception thing as well. I mean, it's sort of a bit of a perception thing of, like, your women's champion is interested in challenging our developmental women's champion. So it is a little bit like, you know, without being disrespectful, sort of know your place, yeah, kind of a thing. Oh, Chen gets it. Chen gets it. So Dante Chen picks up that victory. Oh, Lexis King starts attacking. So Lexis versus... Right, so he's pounding away on Chen at the moment. Crowds are booing. You think this is great? Ah! Collides into him. Chen goes down as the crowd are booing away. And now he's ripping up the flooring. He's exposing the flooring. Let's get the match score for this one. See what people thought about this. Well, ugh. Swinging net breaker, but he sort of did it on the mat, to be honest. He didn't do it on the exposed floor. I'm the guy. Lexis King's upset, man. Lexis King is upset. Refs making their way down to the ring. This is Josh Briggs. Oh, that makes me think of Brooks Jensen. Is he in the crowd? Apparently he was in the crowd last week and no one noticed. So is he actually in the crowd again this week? I got myself a brother and a sister. It was about us. So there we go. Breakup of that group. Am I a man of mayhem in the ring or just in my mind? Quite like this. You best believe we're going to find out. So, a fun little video package there with Josh Briggs. There is Sean Spears. Another lost soul in search of guidance. I'm very troubled by the youth here in NXT, said Sean. I've been down that path of uncertainty. I'll help them. I don't like Sean Spears as much as I like Ty Dillinger. This is Ty Dillinger. I prefer Ty Dillinger. 10. Right, James Wagner said Moose would be a really fun crossover guy. Prince Ryan said, I finished straight in 12 hours. Oh, perhaps that's the game for me then. Perhaps that's the game I'm actually looking for. Moose. Right, Saturday Night Live be funny as hell. What's up with that? Be having me crying, said So Killer. Sean Spears has character, says Mr. Quake. K-Dub said, Daze, you're right. It's like taking clients out to a hockey game to schmooze them. The perfect 10-10. Oh, this is the old video. Oh, well, that's not good. That's not good. Let me see if I can change this video over. Not that it's going to really matter, because I'll have to change it again next week, but it might as well be the correct one. Is that? I don't even know if that's the correct one. Have a look. Let's skip through, shall we? Oh, yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Yeah, UFC 302 live this Saturday. This is the one. Let's go. I could see Jordan Grace against Natalia at Slammiversary. They both want that match. Silly James. He called it SummerSlam. It's called SummerSlam. Silly. Simple mistakes. Al said, I've told Triple T that Kalani Jordan is your favorite female wrestler. I do like Kalani Jordan, yes. Yes. Favorite female NXT wrestler? I think so. I do like Jasmine. She really caught my eye at the house show. I thought that she has got a lot of promise. What else do I like? I mean, there's a few that I like in all fairness, but yeah, I think it is Kalani Jordan that's top of the pile at the moment. There's some good superstars. I mean, obviously we like Trick. It's just going to be interesting to see who can step up, who can fill the void of no Elia, no Bron Breakker, no Carmelo Hayes, no Lyra. You know, there's no Blair Davenport. There's a few that have been called up, and it feels like there's a few spots that need to be filled. They should get AJ Styles involved in the crossover. James said no mistake was made. Days, I went to the UAW local 551. Oh, I've heard that's not very good, Carmen Live. You don't want to go to that. I've heard that's a bad show. UAW in Chicago, Illinois. And you went to see ARW Pro. Ooh. Don't know about that, mate. I mean, I hope you had a good time, but I'm just saying I've seen mixed reviews. Russell Andy said they should get AJ Styles to do the crossover. Jojo said Thea. Oh, I do like Thea. I think, though, the problem with Thea is I liked her energy and the megaphone and all of this kind of stuff. But as we're trying to develop her character, she went off and did that weird stuff with JC Jane, and then she ended up coming back, and now she's sort of back where she was, really. I mean, her wrestling has improved. Definitely, I love the energy. I think I am definitely ready for a bit of evolution, like, with that character. Yeah, tricky. We've not had a QR code for anyone wondering. It's been a blow for NXT, but I think Raw has been given a bit of a facelift. The show feels fresh and exciting. Oh, the Riz. The Riz has got to be in the mix. Here's the Italian Heritage Cup. Nothing else gets done until we put this thing to bed. This is like part of No Quarter Catch Crew. This is like their liver. I wonder when they get the script, and I wonder when they have to like learn all the script. So then they get the script at the weekends to like go through all these lines. There's a bit of dialogue there for Tony, isn't there, for him to get his teeth into? Here's Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair making her way down to the ring. Right, Cedric Alexander just posted that he'll go for the X Division title. Superstars getting excited, are they? At the thought of being able to go after some TNA titles. Hey, isn't Mustafa Ali over there? It'd be nice to see Mustafa again. Isn't Dolph Ziggler over there? Nice to see Dolph Ziggler again. Who else is over there? Who else do we need to be aware of? Who else is in TNA? TNA. Here she is. Kalani Jordan making her way down. Roster. Let's have a little look at this roster, shall we? Start to get excited about some dream matches. Oh, imagine Jordan Grace coming in. That'd be sick. So we've got Moose. We've got Jordan Grace. And we've got Mustafa Ali. Okay. We've got Laredo Kids. Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. And Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich. We've got ABC. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Ace Austin, Aiden Prince. No! Let's go! Let's go! Yes! Flop dollar. Holla holla. Oh, it's time for the king to return. It is time for the king to return. Ah! Ash by Elegance! Oh my god, I'm so excited. We could have Top Dollar and Dana Brooke back. Oh, it just makes sense. And Kurt Hawkins. This is what we need. We need Kurt Hawkins, Dana Brooke, Top Dollar, Pac. We need him back as well, right? Jeff Hardy. We need Jeff Hardy back. Gallows. Dirty Tango! No! Oh, he's not a champion. What? Fandango's not a champion? The flip. Danny Luna? That's a name that I've heard before, actually. I'm sure she used to do some stuff with NWA. Danny Luna. Who else have we got? Gail Kim? Hammerstone. Oh, Hammerstone. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Hammerstone. Damian Priest. We could bring Damian Priest in. Let's go. Eva Marie. Who else we got? Jordan Grace, she'd be good. That'd be good. Josh Matthews. Kushida. They've got Kushida and they've got Kushida. They've got 2 Kushidas. Double Kushidas. Oh, I do like Killer Kelly, actually. And I am a fan of Alba Fire. Squid Man. They've got Squid Man. Oh, Squid Man, Squid Man, Squid Man, Squid Man. They've got Zack Ryder. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. We could bring Woo, woo, woo back. So we got Zack Ryder. We got Matt Hardy. Oh my God, we could do the Vaudevillains. Have we got Simon Gotch? Have they got Simon Gotch? Oh God, this company's rubbish. You've only got 1 Vaudevillain. Trent Seven. Tommy Dreamer? Zaya Brooksides? Haven't they got the bad one? Couldn't we do that with Wesley? And where's the bad one? You know, the one that like loved Hitler. Where's that bad one? Is he on here? Where's him? Is it him? No, it's him. That one is the bad one. Isn't he? Kalani Jordan's one. Oh my God, this is the best. We could have Zack Ryder, Dana Brooke, and the bad one from MSK. Let's go. It's going to be the best. I can't wait. Right, it's a win for Kalani Jordan. Split leg moonsaults. Josh Grisham will be good, wouldn't it? Anyone like that? People will be down for that. I like, do you know who I like? I like Speedball Mike Bailey. I'd be down for some Speedball. And I like Killer Kelly. Do you know what? Actually, TNA looks like it's got a good roster. Actually, it looks pretty good roster, that, to be honest. There's a few things there that look good. Steph DeLander as well. They got Steph DeLander. Yeah. Oh my God, and they got the Boogeyman. They got the flipping Boogeyman. This is the best. there he is, look. I'm the boogeyman. So good. Jack Swagger has left AEW. That might be a sign that he's coming back. Has he? Yeah, do we want him? Do we want him? Out of everyone on the roster, I'd say Jordan Grace is the biggest star, said Brony. Is she? An interesting point. Mustafa Ali is right up there with her. Top dollar. People do love that Eddie Edwards, don't they? They love this boomer. She might. Oh, I do like Hammerstone. Do you know, you could put together a really good show here, couldn't you? You could put together a really good show. Ah, Stevie. I've been busting my arse on Level Up, said Stevie. Mr. Stone. What about one for Stevie Turner, Mr. Stone? I don't know what Jordan Grace has done to earn an opportunity. Jordan Grace comes walking in. Are we going to do Jordan Grace against Stevie Turner? I'm down for that. I'm down for that. That's a match I'd like to see. I think Jordan Roxanne should main event, said Nicole. I just can't believe we're getting it, mate. I cannot believe we're getting it. Right, we are building to our main event. Sexyy Red. Ski. Thomas said, we may have to revisit the plushie on the therapist shelf with AEW news. We might have to revisit the plushie on the therapist shelf with AEW news. Why? What does that mean? What does that mean? We've got what does that mean? I asked you to come and join William, James, and the rest for Triple T's TNA watch along. Oh yeah, we could learn about TNA. I agree, said Jordan. You deserve an opportunity. I'm going to show you I'm the TNA Knockout Women's Champion. When are we doing that? Next week. Stevie doesn't look thrilled by that idea. Stevie's like, yeah, it's not really what I wanted. I just wanted the title match. I just wanted the title match. I didn't want to have to take on flipping the world's strongest woman. Right. Super chats. Yes, give me 1 second. I need to jot this score down because I will get confused. Which I know doesn't sound like me, but Kalani victorious against Ren. Split leg moonsaults. 63, 20, 11, 4, 90. Just a lot of really just good matches. That's what we've been getting more of tonight. It's just a continuation of Raw. Doesn't seem like any of these matches have really grabbed you, but oh my god, are we excited for next week. Jordan Grace, Stevie Turner. Let's go. Thomas said plushie had the same name as Matt Hardy's daughter. Yeah, well, I don't know what the news is. Is Matt Hardy left, does he? Or something? I mean, he's... Oh, right. Okay, I see what you're saying. So, he is in TNA. So, he could now come over to work with NXT. I don't think that that's got anything to do with Wyatt Six, personally. I think that if he is going to be coming in, I think it might be a part of this partnership, and he might end up doing something with NXT. Well, I don't think that it's anything to do with. I don't think that it's anything to do with Wyatt Six. Mitchell said, but yes, you're right. Keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. Mitchell said, it makes me laugh. That the family can rent out a restaurant, get a nice car to off somebody, but suddenly they're backstage with a dollar store table. True. You'd think that they would have more access to the finer things in life when needed. Very true. They are in a collision with No Quarter Catch Crew, aren't they? James said, just because TNA doesn't have big stars, like idiots say, who don't even watch, it doesn't mean that the shows aren't good. Okay, I don't know if anyone said the shows weren't good, did they? Hang on. Everyone, put your guns down. Put the knives down. There. Do you remember earlier Christian said this is a safe place? Yeah, he was like, it's so lovely to be here in this safe place. Do we all remember that conversation, yeah? We've all had a drink, yeah? Drop the weapons, put the guns down. Let's, come on. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Is it just those lyrics again and again, actually? Is there any other lyrics? Wasn't expecting to go down that road, but I'm just going to check it. Kumbaya, my lord. Yeah, it's just that. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Sucks. Oh, keep fighting. Look at that for a song. Someone wrote this as a song and was like, yeah, that'll do. Look at that. They did verse 1 and they were like, okay, that's good. What have you got for verse 2? They just added someone's crying, didn't they? And they're like, okay, that's good. What you got for verse 3? Oh, God. Well, someone's cried. Maybe they should sing. Someone's singing. Okay. Oh, that's great. Can you bring it home? Oh, my God. I got to do more. Someone's praying. There we go. That'll do. I bet that took all of flipping 2 seconds on the back of a napkin. Oh, Lord, come by. Right, we got Obafemi and Wesley. Wesley? That's a Sexyy Red song. Someone's laughing, my lord. Is that what they say? Hang on, I've deleted it now. Is it someone's laughing? You better not be... No, there isn't. Don't you dare start making up lyrics that aren't there. Yeah, it is someone's crying, someone's singing, someone's praying, that's it. Jasmine Nix, Thea Hale next week. Jordan Grace, Stevie Turner next week. And an inside look as Shayna Baszler and Lola Vice are building up to their NXT Underground match. Let's go. Main event time. How long we got left? About 15 minutes. Right. Gallus versus Trick and Javon. Is the caption on the bottom stuck? Well, the caption at the bottom has disappeared. That's what's happened there. Where's that gone? Where's that gone? I literally just typed in that and now it's disappeared. Where did that go? Where did that just puffed off to? I just typed. Didn't I type words? And then it's just gone. Here's Javon. I'll have to start again. Oh, we can play around with some fonts. We'll go gothic. Yeah, bit of gothic. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Gallus versus Trick and Javon. Ah, I need to whoop that Trick graphic and press it. That Trick. Oh, there's Sexyy Red coming out as well. Yeah, man. Oh, that looks awful. What an awful font. That Trick. That Trick. When I get married, and I'm getting married, I'm coming down to this tune. There's people that come down to like Roman Reigns' theme song, don't they? Look at that. Oh my god, we could be all street and stuff. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be, oh god, we'd be so cool. We'd be the envy of like the internet. They'd be like, man, have you seen what they're doing over on that Wrestling Daze stream? Oh, there's, what's that? Oh no. Harlow Solid Italic. Woo! Let's go. Look at that. It's kind of the thing you get a neon sign made out of. Can't even read it. Yeah. That's the future of text. Text that you have to work to figure out. What does it say? Are those two T's? What's that? Gallus versus Trick and Javon. Oh, right. Yeah. Gonna make you walk. Right, we are underway then with the young OG and Trick Willie taking on the Gallus boys. They're on the outside. There's Sexyy Red. She's out there as well, posing away. You can tell that she's a bit lost. She's like, right, what do I do? The camera's on me. What do I do? I think when she goes into her panic mode, she just naturally turns around and like... I think I'm meant to do this. I don't know. The camera's on me. I'm panicking. What shall I do? Bit of that. Little bit of that. Oh... Gallus boys on top forever! Oh, I feel all angry and Scottish. Great. Daze, are you 10 hog in or 10 hog out the streets? Need to know. I'm 10 hog in, mate. You know me. I'm fiercely loyal. I'm really loyal. I always feel like you have to go through a bad spell to get to a good spell. So I am definitely 10 hog in, and I would have been even if he'd have lost. I would have given him this summer, and I would have given him till Christmas. And I would have said to him, what do you need? What were the problems last year? Yeah, what do you think the issues have been? Injuries, squad depth, blah blah blah. Let's fix them. You're then going to tell me if you're happy at the start of next season. And then you are getting judged. Between them and Christmas, I am expecting good things. So I would go that. But he's won the FA Cup. I mean, God, he's won 2 trophies in 2 years. And we're like, get out. You've done what? You've won 2 trophies in 2 years. Get out. You're fired. I mean, granted, he did also finish 8th. But... you know, I'm 10 arguing. Danny Luna was NXT UK. Is that where I know from? That might be where I know from them. In my mind, it was NWA, but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Well, I'm sure you are right about NXT UK. I'm just trying to figure out if that's where I have seen her. Could be right. Carmen Live said, Daze, the ARW Pro events. I've been coming up this Saturday, June 1st, at the Bricky Bowl in Hobart. There you go. If you want to go and see ARW Pro or catch up with Carmen Live 2, not Carmen Live 1, this is the second one, then there's some exciting stuff coming up. I feel like you should work for them, Carmen Live 2. Or maybe you do work for them. Even during Man United's worst season, they won more trophies than Arsenal. Mr. Quake said, Dads, you're welcome. Daisy, are you doing Euro watch-alongs? I don't think so. If I do, it'd probably be just semi-final, final. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. I learned my lesson from that Premier League season that we did. We did a whole season of football, and it meant that I could do the streams, but I couldn't really do anything else. There'd be no Nightbird videos. There'd be no unseens. But then there's not really any unseens at the moment. I can't get to them. But yeah, you know, there'd be none of that. No opinion videos, no review videos, none of that. And that was a lesson learned. I mean, you know, if you want to get somewhere, if you want to, like, you know, grow the community, then it's probably best to not run off and do football in it. So, yeah, that was a big lesson, I think, in if you want to go into football, but you got to do just football. And if you want to be WWE and, like, grow a community there, then do that. I mean, we already had a community. I just felt that there was space in the calendar to do something else as well. But that was the wrong mentality. I should have looked at that space and gone, I'm going to do some WWE videos. That's what I should have done. But instead I went, I'm going to start a whole football channel. Which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Clothesline by Trick. And lovely kick there by Trick. And again, down goes Joe Coffey. Joe Coffey on his feet. Whoop that Trick chance. Trick takes down Mark Coffey. They didn't know where Wolfgang was. We haven't seen Wolfgang, have we? Days, I don't work for ARW Pro. I just attend the events. Oh. That's what someone that works for them would say, isn't it? They would say I don't work for them when they secretly work for them. So it does make it very difficult to know if you're a liar. Like Uncle Howdy. Kick out there by Gallus. I mustache you a question. Oh, Corey. That's good. I mustache you a question. Do you reckon they say that at, like, facial hair conventions? Excuse me. I mustache you a quick question. And they're like, Jesus Christ, I've heard that 20 times today. 20 times today. Yeah, no, Corey, what is, or was that the whole thing? Was that the point? Hello, chat. My name is Sunny, and I've got a book out. The Thoughts Within a Collection of Poems. Sunny, hello, shout out to you. Big Time said Days Eddie Thorpe is back. That's good. I don't mind Eddie Thorpe. I'm not crazy about Eddie Thorpe. We never seem to get any momentum with Eddie Thorpe. But I think he's got something to contribute. He does seem very angry online. The only times I've ever really seen him, like, chatting away is when, like, he's been really going off about his heritage, you know? But then, as I've said before, he probably faces a lot of trolls and stuff, you know? It does seem to be, like, something that really... I've seen him go off, man. I've seen him go off. I'm not saying the people didn't deserve it. I'm just saying. Shoulder up. That is one of the first things I think of when I think of him. Since when has Daze ever been sane? Oh, Sexyy Red coming over, grabbing the belt. Sexyy Red grabs that NXT championship as Joe Coffey was trying to grab it. Sexyy Red getting involved. She won a tug of war over a belt with one of the members of Gallus. They were pulling the belt back and forth and she won. Oh, man. What? This is pretty fun, man. This is pretty fun. And I liked our console conversation. And we got to see Sexyy Red, and we got to see Jordan Grace, and we got some decent matches, didn't we? We didn't get any QR codes. There was no distractions. Apart from a, console conversation. But I thought that was good. Oh, who's this? What's this? Is this Lash? What's this? She's coming out to Trick Willie. What's this? Sexyy Red's looking at Trick. She's like, what's this Bish want? She steps to the sides. Okay. I thought they were going up. I think Sexyy Red's like something like this. I thought it was a bit sassy, but they high-fived. You've got to be honest with me. Did you attack Noam and just be honest? Lights have gone out. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's Undertaker. It's the Wyatt Six. Oh, my God. Oh, this big... What's this? Who is it? Who is it? I can't see the face. Is it Ethan Page? What? Did you hear Vic Joseph then? Did you hear Vic Joseph? Isn't he in A? Ethan Page, isn't he in A? EW. He didn't get to say the EW. Well, there we go. Ethan Page. I mean, I don't really have any thoughts on Ethan Page. I mean, I really like Jordan Grace. But Ethan Page is someone that just seemed to get so misused in AEW. He was a bit like a Shawn Spears. Like, there's great talent and great potential. It's a bit like we're getting like we're getting all these people that have got good potential that were just not used very well. Were they? Like, Shawn Spears was not used well. Brian Pillman Jr. was not used well. Ethan Page was not used well. But I don't know. What did Ethan Page do in AEW? Vic Joseph looks shocked. Page is good, said K-Dub. It's going to be Danhausen next. WTF has happened with NXT? It's gone bonkers, isn't it? Horribly misused, said Wicked Dust. Yeah, that's a tricky one for me, to be honest. You see, I think Jordan Grace has been presented, or whenever I've seen her, she has looked like a monster. She has looked like a killer. She obviously posts pictures of her working out. I mean, you've only got to look at like the size of the girl to go, Jesus. I mean, that is just something different, something special. And to my knowledge, she's always around the title. She's always, big deal. When it comes to women's wrestling, I think Jordan Grace is arguably I'm really thinking it. The biggest female that's not in WWE, that's not called Mercedes Moné. She's got to be in the running. She's got to be one of the biggest females in the world of wrestling that's not a WWE superstar. I don't think you can say that about Ethan Page, about him being one of the biggest male stars that's not in WWE. Well, he's got a lot of potential and he's been badly used, and let's see. What do you think about that, though? What do you think? Ethan Page is a great talent. He was in a good tag team with Josh Alexander, and we've now heard that we're doing TNA WWE. Yeah, I'm really interested to know people's thoughts in that. This is one that I'm going to be honest. I mean, I don't watch TNA, so anything he did there ain't going to land with me. I'm literally going off what I saw of him in AEW, and it was not good. You know, it was not good. I mean, I feel like I can't even remember anything he did. Let's go and ask. We need to get the match scores, don't we? Let's get the match scores. Let's start there, shall we? So, match scores. All time. Great. Good. And bad. Okay, so you're voting for the match score. What did you think about that main event? I've got to tell you, though, I mean, this is an episode that they needed, because you've obviously brought in Jordan Grace, and we don't know what that means for a relationship with TNA. You've now brought in Ethan Page, and it was done quite well with the lights going out. We don't do that all that often in NXT, so it was done quite well with that. Trick and Javon versus Gallus. What did you think about this match? And what do you think about Ethan Page? I'm going to go on to... I can't put a poll here because I'm doing one on the match, so I'm going to have to go onto my Twitter. Are you excited for Ethan Page to join NXT? Are you excited for Ethan Page to join NXT? Let's gauge the temperature of the room. Let's see what the temperature of the room is. Ethan Page. Okay. Boom. Done. Here we go. 10 out of 10 episodes, said Kader. Not wanting to start anything, but it wouldn't surprise me if Endeavor buy TNA, said Jason. Deshaun said there are rumors that WWE's in. Oh, well, I mean, there we go. I mean, bring in Britt Baker. Let's go. Ethan did nothing of worth in AEW, but I think his potential upside could be massive. He's good on the mic, and he is well built, said Wicked Dust. James said yes, and yes. Zokiller said, I would like to see Endeavor buy TNA. Fallen Footwear said, yes, boy! Sonny said, we were talking about gaming. We have a gaming channel for those on Discord that love to talk about gaming. Okay, that's good. Al said, of course. Wicked Dust says, yes. William said, wait, so we can talk about WWE on a TNA stream on Thursday? Yeah. You are allowed, you've got my permission. You can talk on Tommy's stream all about WWE. You can talk about Howdy and Nightbirds, and you can talk about Liv Morgan and Dominic. It's absolutely fine. So I spoke to him earlier. I spoke to Tommy earlier, and he was like, yep, I have no problem. There are no rules anymore to the Thursday streams. That's what he said earlier. NXT versus TNA War Games would be fire, to be fair, said Wolfred. Philip said, Daze, after we finally get the reveal, do you think people will lose interest? I thought we was talking about Ethan Page. I was like, I don't think that reveal's been built up very much, very big. But you mean of the Wyatt Six? It depends what they're doing. I mean, if they look cool, if they look badass, if we quickly move them into a program and like we're doing like some really interesting promos, and it really depends what the presentation looks like. Obviously, if they come out and it's all a bit that's what they look like, that's what we're doing. Like it's a bit retribution. that could be a problem. But there is no reason to look at this Nightbird campaign and think of the work they're putting into the Nightbird campaign. I can only imagine they have put equal, if not more, work into costumes, presentation, storylines, creative. If you've put that much work into the Nightbird campaign, I can only imagine the amount of work that's gone into the group, the look, the aesthetic, the storylines, the creative. I think when we actually debut that group, that's when things really start. That's when things really get going. This is just the tease. Does anyone know how long Brit's locked down in AEW for? I think Cole is locked down till about 2027. Dro said Ethan Page would be amazing on the main roster. I bet Uncle Howdy is probably watching Sexyy Red right now. Yes. Look how shocked you were when Rhea Ripley kissed Dominic last night on Raw. I was super shocked. Oh, how shocked was you? Yeah, I was shocked. We were laughing and joking away, and it turned out that not many was watching it because no one in America got to see it. So actually I was like, oh my god, he's kissing her, oh, and all this, and we was having fun, and people are like, did that happen? And I was like, you didn't get a chance to see it. I put a tweet out about it going, is it true that America didn't see this, the US didn't see this? I got so many responses on that. I mean, I shouldn't have done that tweet really, because it's hard enough going through my notifications just for Nightbirds. Now I had loads of people going, yeah, it's true, we never saw this over in. I was like, oh my god. I don't need my notifications filling up with that. But yeah, it was a case that people didn't see it. The kiss from last night was out of left field, said Selwynds. Jay said, I only remember Ethan Page tagging with Scorpio Sky and Dan Lambert in his corner. Oh yeah, he was in that Dan Lambert group, wasn't he? That was okay. That had its moments. Scorpio Sky got over a little bit. Ethan Page, I just can't remember him doing much. And I can't judge him off TNA because I just don't see him in TNA. But Jordan Grace is different because, no disrespect to Ethan Page. You look at Ethan Page, go, okay, fine, looks normal. You look at Jordan Grace, she don't look like a normal girl. I mean, she is a bodybuilder. She, I think, does competitions and everything, I mean, you look at her and you go, Jesus. I mean, she just looks like an absolute beast. So, yeah, I'll have to see. I'll have to wait and see. I suppose this is going to be a bit of a learning experience for me. This is going to be my true introduction to Ethan Page. Al said, if you thought that Liv Morgan's kiss was something, I wish Triple H could hire Mina Shirakawa. Mina Shirakawa. Mina. The best kisser in all of wrestling. Mina. You guys should watch the interview with Arn Anderson, said Jason. Edward said, Daze, wow, what an ending to NXT. Mind blown. I hadn't seen that he had signed, to be honest, or that he was in AEW or in WWE. I'm hella shocked. Daze, are you mad that Ethan Page has toy hunts? No, why would I be mad? Why would I be mad that he's got toy hunts? I haven't, I mean, I've seen one of his toy hunts, but I've never really gone out my way to watch any toy hunts. No. I'm trying to think why you would think that, or what about that? We don't even really do toy hunts. I don't know. No. I can't figure that one out. That one's bugging me. Why would that be an issue? I don't know who he is. I don't really know who he is. I know his name, and I know I've seen him enough in AEW to, like, if I see his face, I can recognize what he looks like. But I just don't I can only judge him off AEW, and I just didn't see anything. I don't think I could name a single match that he had. I don't think I could name a single match. I don't think I could name feuds. I mean, he's one of those names that, like, you see a bit of excitement around if he's like debuting or something, but then he just never gets used in it, or he never got used in AEW. So yeah, it's difficult for me to be excited when I'm not. Let's put it that way. I'm not. It's not moved my dial, but that's because he's not on my radar. But I'm looking forward to finding out about him, and there's enough excitement in the chat. People are excited in the chat, so he must have something about him. So hopefully it's untapped potential, shall we say? And I'm guessing that in AEW we just didn't bring it out of him. I can tell you that we've got a poll here, and we've had 166 votes, and we've got 92% of people are excited. 8% are not, so that is very close to overwhelming. Would you be disappointed if WWE didn't bring back Uncle Howdy at all, and it was just Bo and different characters? No. I was not a big Uncle Howdy fan. I didn't think it was scary. I thought it was nothing compared to The Fiend. I think you look at The Fiend, and The Fiend is quite scary. You look at Uncle Howdy, and he's just got like this long black coat and like bluish sort of skin. And I don't know, it looked a bit strange, to be honest. It just looked a bit strange. I mean, you wouldn't want to walk down an alleyway late at night and bump into Uncle Howdy. But I can't say that it had that, oh my God, kind of, this is sick. I never felt that way for Howdy. You felt that way for The Fiend. And certainly when he would do his entrance and he'd come out with the lantern and everything. But I never felt that way for Uncle Howdy. So I think that Uncle Howdy could do with a bit of a refresh and a bit of a little rethink, shall we say. A little tweak here and there. I think that we could make him look a bit more intimidating than the original version. But no, I wouldn't mind. If we bring him back, I'd just do that little refresh. And if we don't do that refresh, that's fine as well. But I equally wouldn't be too bothered if he never came back. And we just had Bo. And we just had Bo kind of being a darker version of himself with these other new creations. That's fine. I'm pretty flexible, to be honest. Just, you know what I mean? Go with the flow. JP Ville said Uncle Howdy seems like he reads pickup artist literature. Pickup artist I said Uncle Howdy strikes me as someone that goes down the bookies. He goes down to the betting shop, places a few bets on horses, doesn't win, goes to the pub, has a pint or two in the local pub, and then might get some fish and chips on the way home. That's our Uncle Howdy, and he just does that every day. That's what Uncle Howdy, he's retired. He's got a little bit of money in the bank, not loads, little bit of money, and he just enjoys having a little gamble, a pint down the pub, sits on his own. But, you know, if one of the other lads is in there that he knows, he might have a chat with them, but normally you'll find him at the end of the bar. And on his way home, he'll get some fish and chips. Keep him in the wrapping. He might even start picking at them as he gets home. Gets in and, just watch the news, maybe a Western. That's Uncle Howdy in my mind. We probably do need to make him a bit more of like a killer. So I think that this Nightbird thing is good for him because you've got all the kidnapping and everything going on. You've got therapists acting a little strange at the moment. So that's adding to his aura. So, yeah, no, I'm flexible on it. Bailey said, Cody did say that about needing a manager. Ricardo Rodriguez put a picture of him outside the WWE headquarters. That could be who it is. Dave's got to give WWE credit. Ethan Page might not be the biggest or most interesting name, but NXT is also stacking up their roster. Let's hope he doesn't fall into the same trap as Spears and Ridge. I like Lexis King. I think Lexis King is really growing on me a lot. I look at him And he cuts his promos with such confidence. He actually cuts his promos a bit like a veteran. So he'll talk and he'll interact. And he'll have such confidence in what he's saying, such belief in what he's saying. You don't doubt it for a second that what he says is what he truly believes. And I think like he just needs to be in a good program. He needs to have like good twists and turns, good creative, some good like mic promo in ring time. He needs a banging match as well. He needs a match that we go, oh my God, there we go. There he is. That's what we've been missing. I feel like, I suppose the kindest way to say it would be putting it all together. That would be the kindest thing. You see these like sparks of potential. I could see Lexis King on the main roster in like 10 years time. Not that it would take him that long. I'm sure he would go up before then, but like I could see him on the main roster just being someone that we use for feuds, and he's just, you know, he's there and he's contributing. I could see that. I can see that in him. He just seems so comfortable. But yeah, he still hasn't quite, it hasn't clicked, shall we say. I don't feel like it's all been put together yet, but I don't know, he feels like he's on a good path. I feel like he's going to get there. And honestly, I know I keep saying it, but Ethan Page is just the great unknown to me. Why would Joseph name drop AEW unless it was accidental? He didn't drop him. He said that doesn't he work for A? And then he got cut off. It was quite clever. If what I heard was correct, he said, hang on, doesn't he work for A? And then he got cut off. So he never actually says the promotion's name, but he did enough to tease it whereby they know they're going to get traction online. They know that content creators are going to talk about it. They know that posts are going to be made about it. You know, speculation or this kind of stuff. It's just a little cheeky little thing there. Uncle Howdy is a regular in the local group. Oh, he is? You're right. Oh, God. Two for £2 sausage rolls. Oh, that's Uncle Howdy, that is. That's Uncle Howdy, that is. And he walks in with his £2, and it's gone up to $2.20, and they're like, oh, sorry, Uncle Howdy, it's $2.20 now. And he's like, you're a liar! You're a liar! And they're like, no, it is. Look at the sign. Liar! Revel in what you are. Now, listen. That's all well and good. And honestly, we're pretty tired of this now. You do this every day. It's $2.20. We told you this yesterday. Liar! You're a liar! Uncle Howdy, 2 sausage rolls have not been £2 for 5 years. Why do we go through this every day? Get off the chairs! Get off the chairs! You're a liar! Anyone else want a sitcom like that? I want a sitcom. I want to see someone put together a YouTube show where they're actually using like these characters and like creating parody. You must be allowed to do that. Things like Spitting Image, which was a show, or Celebrity Deathmatch. Do you remember that? With the plasticine. They used likenesses, didn't they? But I think because it was parody, you could get away with it. Like, why can't you have like Uncle Howdy going like the adventures of Uncle Howdy? Someone could do a whole series, couldn't they, based on that? And I don't know legally where you would stand with it, but looking at Celebrity Deathmatch and looking at things like Spitting Image and looking at things like Saturday Night Live, where they use other real celebrities' likenesses, I think you should be able to get away with it. I'm not doing it. Forget that. But I like it. I like it, Wrestle with Andy. You're a liar. I like the idea of like a couple arguing. You've got like a boyfriend. No, I'm not cheating on you. What? You think I'd cheat on you, babe? You think I'd cheat? And then just behind he goes, you're a liar. Different situations where Uncle Howdy can call people liars. There's an idea there. There's a $1 billion idea there. Ethan Page was just taken off the online roster on May 3rd. Well, he is now in NXT. He is now a WWE superstar. How do you think there will be TNA NXT show? Do we think? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I can't see why we wouldn't build to that, because I think that's a show that both TNA fans and NXT fans would enjoy. I think that it is something that would provide some really good creative. I think the part of the problem that you would have, though, is that you're only building one side of that show, aren't you? You know? If you do a show, you get to build the whole show. You get to build both sides of it. The champion and the challenger, right? Or the two competitors. So you get to build like the whole story using all of your superstars. If you are just doing you versus TNA, well, you are just building up your side, aren't you? So that means that you've got to kind of do, I'm guessing, some matches around that show, which is just, you know, your matches that you've got to build up at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It means it's not going to take as much TV time to build because you're just building up the one side. And I don't think that we're going to be bringing them over all the time. I would imagine we would just do... They would come in, of course, but I would imagine you'd only bring in one or two people at a time rather than, like, you know, constantly have them coming over every week and us constantly going over there. I'd imagine there'd be a lot of promos that are just... You know, if you're watching this kind of promos, if you're watching this Jordan Grace, if you're watching this Hammerstone, yeah, I think there'd be a lot of those kind of promos. It's just a little bit of a problem that you only get to build half the card rather than a normal show where you get to showcase all of your stars that you want to showcase. You only get to showcase half. That's the only kind of downside I can think, really. That's the only barrier. And it's not much of a barrier, is it? Because as I said, whilst you're building up that card, you just build up some other matches as well. It's just those other matches won't pay off at the show. They'll have to pay off on a regular NXT show. Like, you might have to do like a big episode of NXT coming out of that show. But yeah, other than that, I can't see why you wouldn't do it. I think the fans would like it. I think it'd be well received. It's good to strengthen the relationship with TNA. Tick, 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 tick. And it stops TNA. It stops TNA going off and working with AEW, which would be a useful partnership to ensure doesn't develop. Charles said, any idea what the ring is under the two videos? We think that's going to point to the next thing, buds. So we think that the next thing that we're going to move on to is going to be a doorbell video. And we think that that is what the tease is. Because I speak about this in the Nightbird video that none of you will have seen because we've been doing this stream. Not many content creators drop in videos and then live streaming at the same time, right? But in this Nightbird video, I said that it's interesting how on Saturday we get the 2K game, and then on the Monday, the QR code appears in that game. Also on the Monday, we get the ring thing. That makes me think that we're now moving on to doorbell footage. So I don't know that it's so much having to worry about working it out. I think it's more a little doth of the cap to where we're going. I think it's a little glimpse into the future. Daze, is Howdy going to go after Gunther since he lied about winning the crown? No, I don't think it's connected, to be honest. He did win the crown. Referee's decision is final, so he did win it. It's just that, obviously, the shoulders were up, and so there's going to be a rematch. But I don't believe that Gunther's crown is on the line. It's just a rematch for doing the sake of a rematch, to be honest. Stinky Red said Fred, not a fan of what he saw from Sexyy Red. Nice to see TNA wrestlers appearing in Rumbles and NXTs, said Wolfram. Glad you're still streaming. Did we cover TNA AEW Invasion? I don't think it was an AEW Invasion. So unexpected. Waiting patiently for Ricky Starks versus Trick. Yeah, I don't think it's an AEW invasion. I don't believe WWE are working with AEW. I don't think that for a second. I think that they've got a relationship with TNA, and I think they showed that at the Royal Rumble when Jordan Grace was coming in there. I don't think there's any relationship with AEW, and I think that this is Ethan Page having signed. I think he's left. I think there's a few that have left, actually, AEW recently. I think, didn't I hear that Trent had gone as well? But Ethan Page, I think, is done with AEW. They might be trying to tease an invasion. That might be why Vic Joseph went, hang on, doesn't he work for A? And he never finished it. But I think the truth is that he's signed with WWE, and I'd imagine the dirt sheets will be all over that. I'd imagine AEW will want to make it clear as well, because they won't appreciate the story of like, you know, our guys left to go and invade NXT. They won't appreciate that. It is cheeky. Imagine if AEW did this. It is cheeky. Imagine if, like, I don't know, someone went from WWE over to AEW and they were like, hang on, don't they still work for W? Are they invading right now? Like, oh, there would be a lot said online if AEW did that. There would be a lot said online. Jesus. Imagine that. Imagine if they were trying to make out in AEW that WWE was invading and they weren't. It's like, hang on, don't they still work for WWE? Are they invading at the moment? Oh, mate, the fallout of that would be nuclear. Nuclear. I don't know what the fallout of this is going to be. I mean, I don't think it's required to do what Vic Joseph did. I don't think he needed to do it. Just bring Ethan Page in and be like, this is Ethan Page. I don't think we needed that little, hang on, doesn't he still work for AEW? Big Time said, I think you're right about the in-ring. If you're not exciting in the ring that's getting the crowd pumped, then you're going to be coming out to crickets and having a hard time getting heat. It is true, people do need to be excited to see you perform. I think, though, you can get away with it a little bit, maybe not totally, but a little bit. You can't stink the place out. But if you can build up your star power, if you can have good entrance music, if you can come out and, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's exciting, like your entrance is exciting and the fans will sing along to your song and whatever, you can sort of get away with not being the best in the ring. I mean, look at Jay. Jay is a bit different, Jey Uso. Like, he's had some bad singles matches, and of course, WrestleMania comes to mind. But he's had a few bad matches. I mean, his one with Damian was okay, but I mean, it wasn't amazing, in my opinion. And I think that, like, a lot of people there were saying, like, I really love his entrance, I love his personality, I love his charisma, but then the bell rings, and I don't love it then, you know? So I think you can sort of get away with that a bit, but yeah, eventually you're gonna, you know, it's quite a famous saying, isn't it? And then the bell rings. It's kind of like everything's perfect, everything's amazing, you look like $1 billion, everything's going well, and then the bell rings. And you know, it's right. You do need to deliver, but I think he can. I think he can. I don't have any doubt that he can't deliver. It's just that I don't think we've seen that, or I don't feel like I've seen that match yet. I can't recall having seen that match yet. That's like, oh yeah, man, Lexis King, let's go. But I like him. I like him. He's grown on me a lot since coming over. And I really was not sold on this Lexis King character when I first saw it, but now we're moving forward and it's kind of settled down and I'm more used to it, and I like his promos. I'm just waiting for that in-ring thing and the good story as well. I mean, this Dante Chen thing could be okay. It's only the second week of it, so we'll see where this goes. MJF might as well join WWE with how much he mentions the company. How fun it was when spoilers and dirt sheets don't link any. Yeah, do you know what? They did an excellent job of masking this, hiding this. These were genuine surprises. That's a good sign, isn't it? Good sign. James said, look, we got some breaking news. PW Insider are reporting there will be an NXT representation on TNA. I wonder what that means. Does that mean that they're just going to show us what happens? I wonder what that means. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? The word backstage at NXT was that Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace appearing will not be the only WWE TNA collaboration in the days ahead. The belief is there'll be some sort of NXT representation on future TNA events and programming. Well. Sick. Very, very cool. I'm really into this TNA thing. Really into this partnership, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it leads. Right, I think we are done. I think we've stuck around a fair bit after, and we've got our teeth into what went down. Big thank you to everyone that joined us. There was some crazy stuff that went down here. I love the Jordynne Grace moment. I love Ethan Page coming in, but as I said, I'll be the first to admit I'm just not overly familiar with his work. So I'm interested. So I'm ready to learn. Let's see what we can learn about Ethan Page. So I'm interested in that. I'm obviously interested in Jordynne Grace. I'm obviously interested in this partnership with TNA. And yeah, see where we go from here. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support as always. And hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.